Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Moran and I'm here with River Brown and Velez, and this is now episode 172. In this episode, we are going to draft our own 25 players under 25 and preview the first round of the NBA playoffs. A quick YouTube member and Patreon shout out to Danko Corrupt, Matthew Jimenez, Travis, Drews the Goat, Holmes, Nairi, your boy Nick, Pimp Chimpin, Jake the Snake, Corrupt, G Boog, Kobe, Dylan, Afosa, Mason, Rico the One, Gentile Drew, Cade MVP, Mark, SP Vorzi Shot, Jordan Watt, Evan, Dylan, Joel is the Goat, Mayo, Andre, Matthew, Peter, Daniel, Ben, William, Ruthless Rootster, Sensei Stevie, Joel B, SA Crimes, Kevin S, Eagle Dollar, Tizzy, Corey, Get Funkoed, Dylan, Playboy Dom, Orlando, Big Chuck, Michael, Greg, Cole, Liam, T Grove 17, Tua Sucks on Ka, Ryan, Epic Lankiness, Aaron, It's Black Ace, Anthony, BJ, PJs, Langston, Jazzy Juice, Johannes, Ruben, Dave, Muffins, John, Sean, Burner Hoops, Court Cousins, P. Dot, George, Hikari, Mateen, and Jay Aqua.
Good old Jay Aqua. Let's do it, boys.
I feel like I haven't been here in like 2 weeks.
For real, man. Get back in the lab. Start grinding. What you been on, bro?
Yeah, how was your day, man?
Why didn't you answer the question?
Because he knows, bro. He's
like,
not on right timing. You got to get on right timing, bro.
If you guys couldn't hear, I have the sniffles right now. My allergies are kicking in. But got to do the show, man, because tomorrow the playoffs start, and I want to spend the day watching the playoffs.
Is your team playing tomorrow?
The Timberwolves?
No, your team.
I believe they are.
Your team.
Who's my team?
The Knicks.
Oh, they're not playing. That's an obvious question.
Are they playing on Sunday?
That's an obvious answer.
Oh, is your Lakers playing tomorrow?
I was hoping that I would evade this interaction between you two. Unfortunately,
it's just been a while since my Bulls has been here.
Okay,
so, I just feel like
all right.
Feels good, fair. It feels good to finally be back in this situation.
It's
to be a first round exit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were last year, so you felt good.
We didn't have the expectations.
Oh, really? To win the series?
We didn't have the expectations before the season to be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
Did we have those expectations? No, we didn't.
A lot of people picked the Bulls to
be a
sixth
top seed.
No, a lot of people picked the Bulls to be one of the top teams.
I thought Pick a Side was a stray away from the media. We made our own takes, like we did our own thing,
like that.
And according to this table, you did not have us as one of the best teams in the East. No,
because I was right about you guys.
Oh, so we're playing the Bucks.
What can you do about that?
Can you do about that?
What teams were you gonna beat?
I mean, we wouldn't have lost 4-1 to the Hawks. I'll tell you that.
Well, you had to get the first seed. You lose to Miami, you'd lose to Boston, you'd lose to Milwaukee. Not a lot of teams are beating.
Those are the only three teams I look at and be like,
well, let's ask this better question. Plug out. Let's take your team from last year and put it in this. Who are you beating? Who are you?
Probably nobody.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have 2 All-Stars on actually 3 All-Stars on our team.
Who's the third?
Vooch?
You have 3 All-Stars on your team.
Who's the third?
Saying Vooch.
Vucevic.
You're casual.
DeRozan, Zach LaVine.
I'm gonna start
Vucevic.
that. You're casual.
You're welcome.
He ain't been no All-Star.
Are we gonna be NBA Twitter now? Like just calling each other casuals
I'm in.
on the podcast.
I'm in.
I feel like it's only necessary when it's needed. You might get that a lot over the next month and some change.
That's why I sit across this table from you, because I can take it. You know what I mean?
Like the Rick Carlisle take.
Casual.
That was a casual moment.
That wasn't casual. That was me actually knowing ball and really thinking, you know what? This guy, Rick Carlisle, has a history of being a good coach. Comes to a new environment. Let's see if he changes things up.
Wow.
Things didn't happen that way. Happens. Injuries played a factor. What can you do?
Do you honestly believe the Pacers were fully healthy? They were going to make it.
Rick Carlisle only had that one season with Dallas, though. They won the championship.
But
he was thinking about that just now.
They went back to – they were in the finals against Miami.
That was in 06.
Yeah. He wasn't the coach.
Who's the coach?
Avery Johnson.
Yikes.
Was he?
Casual.
That
was a casual move right there.
Let's see. Was he?
It might have been him or Dwayne Casey. That was one of those, bro.
I don't think it was Casey.
I know it was. I'm pretty sure it was Avery Johnson. It was Avery Johnson.
It was definitely Avery.
It was Avery Johnson.
Let's see.
Definitely wasn't Rick.
Avery Johnson.
It wasn't Rick though. Mm-mm.
You're right. Rick actually won the title.
Ooh.
Yeah. But then after he didn't miss the playoffs to Dallas for like the next 7 years.
They were mid.
Yeah,
They lost
No, they made it the next year.
with Monte. Yeah.
VC, we hit that game winner against the Spurs.
Facts.
No, but I'm just saying, like, Rick Carlisle had that 1 year, and then like.
Bro, there was just you just were doing things to do things.
Exactly.
That's all that was.
It is, of course.
Being random.
This is going to be a great show. Before we get into our playoff preview, the first round of the playoffs, we're going to draft the top 25 under 25 players list because
Let's go.
ESPN put out a list, The Athletic put out a list. Everybody's putting out lists of this. So we decided let's just draft our own. And it's like the same way we do our usual mock drafts. Like we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to play rock, paper, scissors, and shoot to see who has the number one pick. And then go like that. And then see what the top 25 shapes out as.
I feel like I should go first.
Listen, you're probably going to win rock, paper, scissors. It seems like you always win it. So
Why should you go first?
Yeah, why should you go first? Honest to God. Only thing I can think of is that it's your birthday tomorrow. Give him a round of applause. Leave a comment from my boy Riv. Turning 24? 24
That
years
was a
young,
perfect
man.
segment.
That was a perfect.
That was
fine.
perfect.
So since it is my birthday, I should go first.
All right, man.
That's fair enough. You don't care?
I am still kind of on the fence, but you know what? I'll let you live.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are great.
All right. You like that. We're lit. All right. So do you want to just go second? I'll go third.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, no.
All right.
No,
rock, paper,
I'll go-
scissors.
I'll
Nah,
go-
rock, paper, scissors.
I'll
It's
go
too late.
third.
No,
I'll
no,
go
no.
third.
No, he
rock,
just said
paper,
to go
scissors.
I'll go
third.
third.
All right.
I'll go third.
Because
Number 2 is too hard to pick.
No, it's not.
Oh, then let me go
not gonna lie.
second. If it's really difficult, I would like the
I
difficult
have
question.
number 2. It's fine.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
But I feel like you doing it though. It's like, you know what? All right, fine.
Why don't you shut your mouth for once?
Should we play the music or no?
Yes. I want it. Please.
Okay, let's go.
Here
With
we
the
go.
number 1 pick, Riv is selecting.
It's pretty self-explanatory at this point.
Okay.
Number 1 pick is going to be Luka, easily, without a doubt. You know, the best player under that 25 list. He is a generational superstar, and he's walking into the playoffs right now with a chance to definitely change his name of being a first-round exit. So hopefully when he gets back healthy, they'll be in good position. But that's number 1.
Hit my music, please. The number 2 pick overall, under 25. It's got to be that man in green, Jason Tatum.
Why was this hard?
Yeah, really. Why was it
It's
hard?
hard between him and Zion.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute.
It's not. And I say that as Zion's biggest fan.
You have the 3rd pick, right?
Yeah.
Make your pick.
Forget about the Tatum analysis.
I'm selecting Zion Williamson.
Why?
That's why I wanted the 3rd pick, because this was an easy pick for me.
I would have picked Zion as well if it makes you feel
Really?
better.
If
I
we're
would've-
going off potential, it's definitely Zion. He's already averaged 27 in the NBA, a historic season already.
In his first full season, 27 on 61%.
He had one of the more
field goal.
historic seasons in NBA history.
I don't know. I feel like what Trey's done has been more impressive.
You mean, okay, he went to the ECF off a fluke run. It was a fluke run.
Zion hasn't made the playoffs.
Enough of the fluke run. He did it.
Yeah, you
They
got
were
it.
supposed to lose
I'm
to
not,
Philly
all
in
right,
5.
I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong. I'm just saying he did it.
How you gonna say that? What do you
because
mean they
we
were
know
supposed
because
to lose to Philly.
Philly blew multiple leads.
That's their fault.
Agreed. That's why you got to still give him
But
his credit.
Zion hasn't made the playoffs or played enough.
Correct.
Give me one example of when he's had the team to make the playoffs.
It's a fair point. Well, right now.
But he's not playing.
He's not
hurt.
So that's why I can't put him. I understand if we have him top 5, but over Trey.
Okay, so you
But
think
we're already counting out Zion because he's injured. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm not. I wouldn't say count out, but I'm looking at Trey. And it's like kind of like
wait? So
I'm not
if you look
over-
at Trey and you look at Zion, they both reached their absolute peak. Who is the better player?
you've also told me guards are very important in this league. You did just tell me that.
Zion has guard skills.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Trey is the guard with these skills.
Did you
true.
see Point Zion in the second season?
Trey is literally a juiced up Steve Nash.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you didn't answer
but
my
Zion
question.
playing point guard changed the offense for them.
What's the question?
You didn't
again?
answer
What's the
my question.
What's the question?
They both reached their peak. Who's the better player? You know
the
it's
answer.
Zion.
You know the answer.
I don't know it's Zion.
It is
27
Zion.
in his first full season.
Didn't Trey put up like 28-9 in his
No.
second full season?
No, yeah, he did. He did.
He
And
was
then after that
amazing.
was 26 and
But
9,
again-
and then he went to the ECF. I'm confused here.
Zion,
What you're saying about Zion?
61% from the
What
field.
you're saying about Zion? Trey Young has done that in back-to-back years while also going to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think we should.
I'm not. Listen.
and then
it's not a
now with the
conversation.
same roster, he's in the play-in.
While in a year where Zion hasn't played.
Okay, but I'm saying that was a fluke run.
You all right?
I stop that. Listen, because I'm defending you. I'm on the same side as you, but you can't say stuff like that.
It is a fluke run. I said it in the offseason. I'll say it again. That was a fluke run.
I mean, it's a run that Zion has yet to make.
It was a run that will probably never happen again.
Zion might never make that run.
I don't know. Do you see the Pelicans right now?
Now you add Zion.
There was Zion away from making that run.
Yeah, if he plays,
he will play.
yeah, it's possible.
He will play. So, but you still didn't
I know. I
answer
did
my
answer the
question.
question. I said Trey.
They could be the Wolves.
So you think Trey's better if they
Zion's
both
healthy.
reach their peak?
Yes.
Okay, so then the fourth pick should be easy for you then.
Oh yeah, the fourth pick is undoubtedly Trae Young. I thought you was gonna pick Trae Young, but you didn't pick Trae Young.
Because Zion, bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I was gonna defend the job, but I don't want to take too long. So,
All right, hit his music.
the music for me, please. So my fourth pick is gonna be obviously Trae Young, the best point guard on this list.
Number 2, Luka.
Oh yeah, because I was counting him as just like
I got you.
but the second best point guard on this list. He's already made an ECF. Being that young, he's already put up historic numbers. He's a different type of ball player. So for me, Trae Young is at 4.
All right, hit my music, please. Now with the 5th overall pick, Team Andrew will be selecting Ja Morant. The strides that he's made this season has been astronomical. He's absolutely box office. This Memphis team is now rejuvenated, revamped, and he's at the head of the office for them. I got Ja Morant.
Well, this is easy for me. The 6th overall pick is going to be Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, I know there's probably players that are better than him right now, but this is all for projections. Cade Cunningham is on a different tier than LaMelo as players and potential-wise. Cade Cunningham is a superstar. I think LaMelo Ball can be he's an all-star, high-level all-star possibly. I think Cade Cunningham is going to be one of the best players in the NBA, and that's why I have him at 6.
Here's the difference. LaMelo gets drafted to the Hornets. They're one of the worst teams the year before. They make the play-in the first year that he's drafted.
He just got blown out twice.
I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong at all. But my point being is, Cade gets drafted. His team's still bottom of the Eastern Conference, and I'm not denying Cade's skills. Let's just take a stronger look at LaMelo's impact.
Wait, hold up. Do you think that LaMelo got drafted into a worse situation than Cade?
The bet, I wouldn't say that, no. But LaMelo is the reason why. The main reason, I should say. Not the main reason why.
He's not, though.
Who was?
There's multiple people in Charlotte that are big reasons as to why. LaMelo's not
I'm not
the
saying
only reason.
that. I said he's the main reason.
There's a reason why last year the Hornets dropped off when Gordon Hayward went out. And there's a reason why they dropped off when Gordon Hayward went out this year as well.
And there's a reason why they dropped off when LaMelo went down last season.
Not necessarily.
No.
They had a lot of injuries
So
last
you would
season.
pick LaMelo with that pick?
Me personally, I have LaMelo at 6.
Over Cade Cunningham.
I do.
So he had... Okay.
This is going to be interesting because at 7, I don't have LaMelo.
That's all right.
Hit your music.
Oh, listen, I've seen a lot of boards with LaMelo lower than I believe that he should be, but...
I mean, you called him better than Ja Morant before the season.
Listen, I think that he'll inevitably be better than him.
Oh, that's hotter than what I said about Trae Young. Hit my music. Thank you, sir. My number 7 pick is going to be very surprising, but I'm going to go with Anthony Edwards.
That's not surprising at all.
I think he has two-way level ability. I think his scoring is going to be at the top of the league, and I think his defense can be one of the best in the league right now with his ability, his athletic ability, his size, and his physique. So for me, Ant is at 7.
I love that pick.
So far, the draft that we have is the exact big board that I made for this draft.
Really?
Yeah. But I know you're going to ruin it right now.
Yep.
Okay. Cue music?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a party pooper.
So I believe this is the 8th pick overall. And with that pick, I'm going with LaMelo Ball to no surprise. The upside of LaMelo Ball, for me personally, is a top 15, top 10 ball player. And in terms of intangibles, LaMelo has everything I want. A great scorer, great passer, rebounder, just needs to work on defense. And I think that in this NBA, it has been evident that you don't need to be a great defender coming in because that can be acquired over time. And I believe that he's more than capable of doing so given his athleticism and his size, his versatility. So with the number 8th overall pick, LaMelo Ball.
Man, LaMelo is overrated.
And that's unfortunate you think that because, I mean, it's a little bit
You called him a
foolish.
great scorer.
You did say that.
He is.
Great strong. He's not there yet.
He's not a great
at
scorer.
number 2, in his second year, averaging 20 points.
A lot of them
great though.
in the half court. In the half court, he's not a great.
His
scorer.
main issue was shooting, and he shot 39% from 3-point this season.
His main issue is consistently creating in the half court, and that's why he shot 7 for 25 in the playing game. He doesn't have a set of arsenal and moves that he can really go to.
Garland better.
I have Garland right after him.
So he ruined your mock.
Yes. And the next pick is easy for me. With the 9th overall pick, I'm selecting Evan Mobley.
Oh, I took my pick.
He's already a top 10 defender in the NBA. He's been one of the main reasons why the Cavs have been good this season. And offensively, even though he's not polished, he's still averaging 15 this season. He's a very good passer out the post. And his absolute ceiling is a top 3 center in the NBA, a top 3 power forward in the NBA. I think within the next 3 years, he's going to definitely be a top 4 center in the NBA. It would be Jokic, Embiid, Cat, or Mobley. Mobley has all the makings of a superstar, all-NBA caliber level player, and I think this is a fairly easy pick for me with Evan Mobley.
So I have the 10th pick. Well, this one's going to be easy. Cue my music, my boy. Number 10, potential-wise, for me, easily Scotty Barnes. You know, his two-way ability is insane. His versatility on defense is ridiculous. The way he can control the offense, his scoring is going to improve. His jump shot has looked like it's going to make progress. I've been watching him since high school, so I already know he has the intangibles. Him and Cade were leaders for their team, Montverde, which was arguably the best high school team that's ever been created, if not for the shutdown. So for me, Scotty Barnes is number 10.
All right, you can hit my music. And I'm surprised that this man is still here at number 11. And to no surprise, I'm going Darius Garland. We saw him put on a show against the Nets in Barclays Center to show that he can backpack a team. And unfortunately, he came up a little bit short because his role players need to step up a little bit more. But he has the tools to be a great scorer, the tools to be an elite playmaker already this young into his career. And he's the main reason for the Cavs' success, regardless of what you want to say about Jared Allen and Mobley and how great that they are. Darius Garland is the motor that gets this team going. And so with the number 11 pick, I'm going with Darius Garland.
I don't want to make this a habit of questioning your picks, but
you're going to make it a habit anyway.
But I question it because I understand Garland is one of the main reasons why Cleveland is good, but there's a reason why they started losing when Jared Allen went out.
I mean,
the identity of their team this season has been Jared Allen and Mobley being great defenders.
But Sexton went out, and we saw Garland elevate his game to a different height, and that was with opportunity. Yes, Allen is a huge part of their team because defensively, the way that he can hold it down is like very few, I should say. But we can't ignore that it was Mobley and Allen that both went out at the same time. Towards the back end of the season, that was key for them staying in that position that they were.
Mobley's been healthy for fairly most of the season.
Correct, but at the very end of the season, both Allen and Mobley missed time consecutive.
But Allen's the one that's been out for
I'm not saying you're necessarily wrong at all, but Mobley and him both got injured.
Why do you think that Colin Sexton
So
matters?
what's the pick here?
It sounds disrespectful.
What's the pick here?
Sounds extreme.
What's the pick here? It's Darius Garland. Why are you questioning?
I'm not saying that he's
so
not
let's
the
make
pick.
your pick.
Yeah,
So then
I'm
what's
not
the
saying-
point of this?
Would you have?
But Drew started it with saying, "I'm surprised he's still here." Why are
It
you
is
surprised
surprised.
he's still here?
I would have taken. Are you taking?
So wait, who would you have took Garland over?
You think
I would have
wait, hold
taken
up.
him over Scotty.
You think the Cavs ceiling is the Cavs ceiling? Evan Mobley's more important to that than Garland, I believe. Long term, Mobley is the one who projects to be the better player long term.
So you would take Garland over Scotty was the one.
Yes, Garland over Scotty.
Yeah, like you made it sound like he like lasted up to like pick 20.
I mean, he's pick 11 here. I'm shocked because I have Garland as my number 8 player.
Oh, damn. So you probably, who do you? Okay. I could dig it.
Okay, so let me go then.
That was so pointless. Unbelievable.
With the 12th overall pick, I'm selecting Bam Adebayo.
There we go.
So we pumped you into doing that.
No, I pumped myself into doing that.
This guy.
Why do you try to take credit for my doings?
You didn't have him high before. Your first mock was.
You didn't.
You didn't have him high.
You're right. Then I changed it because I had to think about it. That's why it's a rough
You
draft.
thought about it though when we walked in. We was like, you know what I'm
No, I was debating because my mock is a combination of potential and what have you done now.
Do your thing. Why Bam? Talk to us.
I thought you were gonna go.
Oh, I thought you were gonna explain Bam.
Oh, it's self-explanatory.
Okay,
That's
as long as we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Cue my music, please, one more time.
Oh my god.
So this is the 13th pick, I'm assuming.
It is a 13th pick.
For me, I'm going with my guy, SGA. I feel like at 13, him showing that he's one of the best isolation scorers in the NBA, him showing the versatility he can play any role at this point, him also being in the fact that he's been hurt, but when he's healthy, Oklahoma is as competitive as can be. They won't win as many games. They really have a lot of bad players, but when he does play, they are extremely competitive. So for me, this is where I got him.
All right, you can end my music. All right, at number 14, my selection is going to be Brandon Ingram, one of the better scorers at the age of under 25. And we've seen him improve every single season since coming into the league. And I just look at the rest of these guys that are left available, and I just think Brandon Ingram is just better than the rest of these guys.
Now, with the 14th overall pick,
Here we go.
I'm going with Tyrese Halliburton.
It's those two, but I think that Brandon Ingram has the slight edge for me personally.
I believe that Tyrese Halliburton is on the same tier as LaMelo Ball. You look at both of them as players.
Crazy.
I think half-court offense, they are pretty much the same. Tyrese Halliburton's a better shooter. He's a better defender.
He's barely a better shooter.
There is really, when I look at LaMelo and Tyrese, you can't tell me something that LaMelo does significantly better that Tyrese can't do at a high level. They're both great playmakers, great to elite playmakers. Tyrese Halliburton has one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the NBA. In Indiana, he averaged 20 and 10 when he got traded. And in Sacramento, without Fox, he was basically averaging 20 and 10. So we've seen him average LaMelo-like numbers when he's been given the keys to the offense.
I think that's different, though, because you keep saying, notice how you keep saying without Fox in Indiana, but LaMelo has been playing with Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward and is putting up those numbers. So I also think
that makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, you can play both sides.
Because Tyrese was playing with a guy who's a ball-dominant guard.
And his numbers didn't look like LaMelo.
Rozier can play off the ball.
But Halliburton really took that leap in Sacramento when Fox went down. We saw his numbers inflate when Fox went down.
Yeah, but then even when Fox came back, Tyrese was still
doing his thing,
numbers.
but not like he was when he was.
And then when he went to Indiana, even when Malcolm Brogdon was healthy and they played together, he still put up big numbers.
No doubt.
So I think they're in the same tier right now. I don't see like much of a gap.
Rebounding's obviously LaMelo, athleticism, versatility. I'm going LaMelo. That's why.
Well, I think Garland is better than both. So
Garland is better than both, I think.
Yeah, so that's just me though.
It's not far off though.
Oh no, it's pretty clear.
Stop.
No,
it's not far.
It's pretty clear. I think it's clear. I
wouldn't
say
he's
it's far
better
off
right now, but it's not far off.
I don't think it's far off, but it's clear who's better.
I mean, as of right now, because of this season, but
I mean,
it's not far off.
LaMelo next season is going to show.
I think when we talk about point guards, like let's just do a quick tier list of point guards.
Please don't tell me you think Halliburton is on the same tier as Garland.
Steph is in the tier of his own.
He's going to tell you that he's in the same tier as
Steph is in a tier of his own with Chris Paul. Like if we're talking about pure point guards.
Luka?
Oh, Luka too. Yeah, I count him. Yeah, Luka, Trey, Steph are in that S tier where they're the best of the best. Then the other tiers of point guards like the LaMelos,
Ja.
the Garlands, the Ja's in that S tier too.
I think he has to be, yeah.
Yeah, he's in that S tier. Yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton is in that tier with LaMelo and Garland. They all to me can offer the same thing.
I think there has to be a tier in the middle of that tier and S tier.
Let me ask you something. You think of Tyrese, you swap him in Cleveland and he's in Darius Garland's role.
They're not as good.
They're not.
You think it's a significant drop off?
Garland's.
I think they become significantly better defensively.
Garland is a significantly better shooter. He's a better shot creator and he's a better playmaker than Tyrese.
I wouldn't say he's a significantly better shooter.
I think he's a better shooter because because he can do it off the dribble and he's a better catcher.
He's better than Tyrese off the dribble, and that's what Tyrese has to work on.
That's why I say he's significant because in terms of all around shooting, he's better at that. So that's why I would say he has better handles. He's a better creator. He can create his own back.
Garland's handles really.
Yeah, he has the floater game and he's pretty.
But also, you compare Darius Garland's second year, Tyrese's second year. Tyrese's second year beats him.
It took Garland a little bit to get going.
It took him until his third year.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm saying, so if we're projecting LaMelo and Tyrese next season's their third years in the NBA, we're talking about them three in the same tier, in the same boat.
Yeah, if you do it like that, yeah, but Garland's projection led to Cleveland being competitive. So,
do you think so?
Absolutely.
Does that not stem from? Yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
I'll be honest. Garland has been huge for Cleveland. I don't want to knock him.
You're gonna knock him though.
But I feel it's most of their success has been mostly due to the Allen Mobley experiment.
I mean, it's possible, but you can't deny Garland's literally an all-star this year, bro. And he wasn't a voted in all-star.
Before the season started, we were questioning Cleveland. Why are they starting Laurie, Mobley, and Allen? Yeah. And that ended up working out.
We were also questioning if Garland was going to take that next leap.
And he did. And him taking that next leap definitely helped. But Mobley already being one of the best defenders in the NBA helped. Jared Allen having a top 20 PER in the NBA helped.
Is Garland not the best player on the Cavaliers?
He's the best offensive player on the Cavaliers.
I think he's the best player on the Cavaliers. I think you can project Mobley to be the best player.
When you talk about impact metrics, Jared Allen has the best impact metrics on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
So you're saying that Jared Allen is the best player on the Cavaliers?
I'm saying what...
I'm just asking who's the best player.
When talking about the Cavs, Garland and Allen, that duo is similar to like a Jazz with Gobert and Mitchell, where Mitchell is the best offense player by far, but they are not winning or successful without Rudy. So
I don't think they're winning without Garland, though.
Same thing with Jazz. They're not winning without Mitchell, but they weren't winning without Allen in the lineup. Like, he's a pivotal part to what they do. No, of course,
yeah, because of the defense. But you're saying if you plug out Haliburton for Garland,
especially when talking about Garland's defensive liabilities, Mobley and Allen make up for that a lot. Having a guy like Mobley, who they literally put him at the top of zones to guard guards, has been a huge reason as to why they've taken this leap this season.
No, I agree, but I think you're forgetting the offensive side of the game, which Jared Allen and Mobley are not that great at. Garland has to take up a lot of that. Like, we forget. We literally just watched him the other day. It's literally Garland and the rest of them.
But Mobley was coming back from injury. He had a decent game, given the fact that it was his first game back in a little bit.
Yeah, Mobley's not right now. He's not like that type of offensive player. Neither is Allen. I don't think
it's just I can't solely base their winning and success this season to Garland. Like,
no, I understand.
I'm not saying
it's all three of them.
He's not. It's not. We're not saying he's the.
But you seem to be. You're like, it's not that it's just him, but you're only knocking him.
No, I'm not only knocking him.
Yeah, you're only saying like it's like you're saying credit Allen and Mobley, but you're making it seem like Garland's the guy that's sitting out when it's really all three.
Like, is Garland the third? Is he the third reason why they had success this season?
No, he's the main reason why. I think the first.
That's exactly what I said.
I think the main reason why they're so successful has been because they've been great elite defensively. Yeah. That's number one. And we know Garland is not great or elite or good defensively. He tries, but he's undersized. That's right. The main reason they're successful this season is because their defense has been so elite. And then Garland, being the offensive initiator, he's led that offense. There's no doubt. But I don't view the Cavs in a similar light to how I viewed Atlanta last season, where I'm like, most of the credit goes to Trae.
Yeah, because
they're a bad defensive team, but their offense is so great because of Trae Young's just absurd scoring and passing ability that he's got them all the way to the 5th seed and then made that ECF run.
I agree.
Like, without Trae, the Hawks don't go, but I think you put somebody in a similar position to Garland, like a LaMelo or a Tyrese, they can have similar success because
I don't know. That's hard to say.
The foundation of that team as of right now is their DNA is defensive.
Haliburton has to show that next season. Make the play in next year, and then I can throw you in that tier.
Well, maybe I'm a bit higher on Haliburton than most people are. I think he's.
I don't think Haliburton has the same type of skill set that Garland has on the offensive end. That's why I don't think it'd work.
But they're also better defensively with him.
Yeah, but defensively it'll definitely go, but offensively you still got to score.
Yeah.
So.
He's
an all-star, Stop disrespecting my boy.
I like Darius Garland a lot.
We'll see, though.
But I just don't think he belongs in like a tier above LaMelo and Tyrese. I think they're like in the same tier.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. Yeah, it is tough. I mean, yeah. I feel like there has to be another tier, though. We can't just put all the nice to mid-pack point guards in the same tier, like LaMelo, Murray, VanVleet, Garland. There can't be 15 of them in the same tier.
I'm with you.
So there has to be something between the elites of the elites. Then we could probably say the all-stars, then the all-star calibers.
So the elite of the elites.
We know who those five are. We don't have to really.
Okay, the elite of the elites, I would say it's Luka, Steph,
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is a pure point guard. Then
Young.
High-level all-stars, Ja, Trae. Like Luka,
okay, all right, I'm fine with
Luka
that.
and Steph are like MVP level, high level all stars. Trae, Ja, and then all star caliber is Garland, like LaMelo. Like I said, I'm high on Tyrese, so I'm gonna put Tyrese there.
Okay, I respect it.
So that's how you can split it.
Yeah, I would have did it a little differently, but okay, I could dig it.
Your pick is up next.
Oh, it's my pick.
Yeah.
It's pick 16, by the way.
Really? I got pick 15.
It is pick 15. You just went 14.
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Yeah, you went 14.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick?
Tyrese.
Ah, you did.
Yeah.
Crazy, because this next guy potential is way better. Keep going.
RJ Barrett.
He won't go top 20. My pick is gonna be Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm surprised he didn't get on this board, because the same way we talk about Evan Mobley, I feel like we should talk about Jaren Jackson. He may not have superstar level, but in terms of defense, I think he can be one of the best defensive bigs in the league. His ability to block shots, his ability to be that size and able to guard the perimeter, not to mention his offense has continued to improve. He just his only problem was staying healthy. He's been healthy for the most part this year, now just to stop being in foul trouble all the time. But I think his potential is definitely through the roof. And for Memphis, him to reach that absolute ceiling would definitely turn him into championship contenders. So for me, I got Jaren Jackson at 15.
All right, hit my music, please. At number 16, I'm taking the New York native, RJ Barrett. The strides that he's made.
I just told him he wouldn't make it top 20.
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
telling
picked
you,
him
I
right
like
after.
RJ. I definitely do. I think that we've seen his offensive game take a huge stride this season, and defensively, that's been consistent with him throughout his career at the minimum. But now we're actually starting to see his offensive game come together, and that's really what Knicks fans and NBA fans have been looking for from RJ. So at number 16, I am going RJ Barrett.
Man, I was trying to pick RJ or whatever. With the 17th pick, I'm going with Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green has Zach LaVine level potential. It could be even higher. He averaged 17. He went on a crazy scoring stretch towards the back half of the season, and he finished with really good splits, 44% from the field, 36% from three, post All-Star break, averaging close to 23 points per game on excellent efficiency. He, to me, next year is definitely taking the leap into being a 20-point-per-game scorer, and if the Rockets can sign veterans, also draft a high-level prospect, they can be competitive. I think Jalen Green figured out post All-Star break, I belong here. I'm a gifted scorer. I'm one of the best scorers in the league, and I can reach that potential.
I like it.
I would have picked him over RJ, and I would have picked, like, RJ would have been the pick that I would have picked right now. Mm-hmm. But Jalen Green, to me, I think has a lot of potential, and he's somebody that got knocked throughout the season, but he showed out. And now
I have
people
RJ and Jalen Green right
under.
under. So either way you shake it, I don't mind it.
Here we go. Hot take alert.
Let's see how hot it really is.
For me, number 18, Jordan Poole.
Oh my God! Yes, you're right. It is.
I got to take Jordan Poole, man. I just like. I gotta. I was waiting. I tried to wait. I kept trying to wait.
Over De'Aaron Fox.
Yes,
Come
I couldn't hold it anymore. I got to take Jordan Poole, and it's just. I know it's hot. I know people are gonna say small sample size, and I understand. But when you watch him play, he just screams all-star potential. Just screams it. Without Steph Curry, he was amazing. Even with Steph Curry early on in the season, he was amazing. He's definitely fit that role perfectly. And I think under the right culture, which he's already in, under the right headspace with Steph, with Clay, he can definitely be one of the best. Not the best, like top 15, top 20 in the league, but he can definitely reach that type of potential, especially for where he is. So for me, Jordan Poole.
So over Tyler Herro, too.
Yes. I'm not high on Tyler Herro. He's a freaking cone. I can't get with that. Maxey's coming. He's on his way. Wait till...
Jordan Poole, what, 18 you said, right?
Yeah, I have Poole higher than Herro. I'm not high on Herro. I think he'll be another Jordan
All right, this
Clarkson.
is a tough decision for me, honestly. But I think I have my selection. You can hit my music.
Look at this guy.
It's pick
19.
All right, with the 19th pick overall, I'm going with Jared Allen. Jared Allen has proven to be one of the best defensive centers in the league, and his impact with the Cavaliers was immediate, turning them into one of the better defensive teams when he was on the court. Offensively, he definitely needs to really take strides there, but given his role, he doesn't need to do more than what he's asked. And for what he does excellent, he is great at it, and he excels at it. So I'm going with Jared Allen.
You don't think he'll be a poor man's Rudy Gobert for the rest of his career?
I think he can be Rudy Gobert. I can't hear your mic.
I think he can be Rudy Gobert.
I think he can be Rudy Gobert
really?
also.
Like statistically or just like
I think
from
he's a
what
little
you
bit
see?
more athletic too.
He is. Yeah, he is because he's smaller.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're taking him over DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would too.
Okay.
This was tough. I was torn between Fox and Ayton.
Stop with the
Fox and Allen. Can you stop listen, I
understand be this
Fox,
forever.
Fox he's the new
what?
poster child for empty stats.
He's just gonna be this.
But that's what I'm saying. He's the new poster child for empty stats.
Okay.
So which is why people are going to be lower on Fox than
Poor man's John Wall.
I think we're just low on him because it's his fourth, fifth year in the league, and what has he done?
average 25, number 4. He was 14th.
Stinky.
The team was stinky. He wasn't. The team was.
I mean,
and he was underwhelming to start this season, and then the team was underwhelming as a whole towards.
they should have traded him before Halliburton.
I don't disagree. I think they could have gotten more for Fox than Halliburton because they had to give up Halliburton and Hield to get Sabonis in that trade. It's proving to be bad.
This is really tough for me because there are so many players I love that I want to take. I'm going to overdraft. With the 20th pick in the redraft, I'm taking Josh Giddey. All around player, playmaking prowess. Has to get better as a scorer in the half court. Has to get better as a shooter. Has to get better defensively. But all the tools are there. A 6'8", 6'9" point guard who is already one of the most gifted passers in the league. To me, when I look at him versus Ayton, I think I love offensive initiators. So that's why I'm taking him over Ayton. I feel like his ceiling is higher than Desmond Bane's. It's higher than Franz Wagner's. And De'Aaron Fox, Fox is definitely a better player now. But I just look at everything that Giddey can bring to the table. I don't know. I'm super high on Giddey. You know I'm a Gideon. So I'm taking him with the 20th pick. I'm taking him this high.
It's just crazy the disrespect we're giving De'Aaron.
Don't worry, because I got you.
Are you going to take him?
Hit my music, please.
Take him. No, you're going to disrespect him again.
With the next pick, I'm going DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, my God.
He got drafted number 1. There was a lot of expectations, but I feel like even though he hasn't hit those expectations, he has been the perfect complementary piece for Phoenix in their run last year and in their run this year. Although the numbers don't show it, he has been very impactful for them, and he still has room to grow. He's a pretty solid floor spacer. He's developing a mid-range. He has a little floater. He can exploit mismatches when he's given the opportunity. And defensively, he's no slouch. Being 7 feet and being able to do that is good. So for me, I got DeAndre Ayton.
At pick
21.
All right, hit my music. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place with these picks. All right, so with pick 22.
Why haven't you picked your boy? You keep talking about us.
I have to now.
You waited long enough.
I mean, I knew you guys were going to pass on him, so I'm getting a steal here at 22.
23.
23.
I was 21.
No, it's 22.
All right, Jesus. All right, I pick 22. I'm going with De'Aaron Fox. He's the best player available right now. He's one of the better scorers. Unfortunately, he is now the poster child for empty stats. But I just think that he needs a situation that's going to benefit his play style, which right now I don't really know what you could put around him that's going to benefit him. He's a decent playmaker. He's a really great scorer. Just needs to be a little bit more efficient, especially when it comes to shooting the 3-ball. And I think that also plays a big reason of why they're not successful. He is a below-average 3-point shooter, shot 29% from 3 this season. And his free throw percentage really isn't that great either. I think he's shooting under 80-something%.
If you're a guard and you're shooting an 8%.
Exactly. No, it's not great by any means. But he's the best player available, and I have to go De'Aaron Fox.
You got forced into that pick. I'm sorry to hear that for you. I really am.
Tell me the players here that you're taking over De'Aaron Fox.
I got one next.
You're taking Maxey over De'Aaron Fox.
Don't ruin my pick.
Crazy.
Stop ruining my pick.
Bro, you're crazy. I'm telling you right now, you're crazy.
Okay, well, Maxey is winning.
This is tough for me because there's a lot of
Embiid and Harden.
There's a lot of players here that are deserving. I think here's where we're getting into controversial territory.
I agree.
So John Collins is on the board. Miles Bridges, OG.
Stop.
Keldon Johnson, Tyrese Maxey.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question? Why did you say John Collins is on the board?
I mean, he virtually made everybody's list.
Oh, my God. Nobody's... all right, whatever.
I'm just telling you players that are on the board.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like he shouldn't be.
Tyler Hero, Desmond Bane. I put Franz Wagner on here.
That's good.
When I look at potential, and my list is very potential-based, I look at Franz Wagner and I say that he can be better than all these guys. I think Franz can be better than Desmond Bane. He's already close to him as a player right now. He's better defensively than Tyler Hero. I think that's not too far off. Mm-hmm. John Collins and him, who would I take long term? That's a real question. I'd probably lean Franz. Between him and Miles Bridges, I'd probably lean Franz. Like, I really don't see somebody that I'd take here if I'm drafting and I'm like, who do I want between these guys? I'm going Franz Wagner.
Easily.
Yeah,
For me, it was pretty easy.
I'm going Franz Wagner.
Once you said Wagner, well, that one was but once you said Wagner Collins or Wagner somebody else after Collins, I was like, Wagner, easy.
Desmond Bane, I love Desmond Bane's game.
It depends. You know
I
what?
just kind of feel like
Late to the party.
You know, for
he's
me,
like he is who he is, which is not bad. He's a great player.
Is that true?
Bane,
he went up 9 points from last season to this season.
For me, picking Bane, it really depends on who's the person next to him.
He is what he is strong.
I feel like me is just who's my guard? Who's my point guard? That's for me. And then I decide. Like,
You think Franz is your point guard?
No, I'm saying like if I was to pick, if I had my team and Bane is on the board with other guys, who's my guard? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I want to put next to him? I feel like
I might be totally
he can
wrong.
play.
I might be totally off base on this, but you're right. He upped his average 9 points.
That's a lot of points.
Is he? Do you
How
see
do you
him?
butt that?
Do you see him going to like 24 though, reaching 25 a game?
He could average anywhere from 22 to 24 points per game.
I think 24 is high. I think he's
he's a 20, 21.
He's
points
an
per game.
18 or 21 points per game guy.
Do you think he's going to score more than CJ McCollum did at his peak? I don't think so.
He could be along those lines.
So like 21, 22, because that's what CJ was.
What was CJ's highest average?
24 one time.
He could do that.
Do you think he can be as good as
I'm
Chris
talking about
Middleton?
consistency though.
But was he averaging 24 consistently?
No, that's what I say. He was a 21,
That's what I'm
22
saying.
guy. I think he can do that.
I think that if we're saying this is what he is, that's kind of strong.
Okay, that's right. I didn't say he said that.
Do you think he can be as good as Chris Middleton?
Why do people always use him?
Chris Middleton can create for himself very well. Not saying that
Desmond Bane can't be. He's not nearly the creator.
All right, but it took Middleton some time.
No. I'm just saying like Desmond Bane.
Again, but to say that is what he is right now is what he will be.
How
That's what I
22.
This is his second year in the
He
league.
played like 2 years in college.
What I mean by
He's
that
20,
though,
23.
what I mean by that though is, do you see Desmond Bane as an all-star? Because I view him now as a high-level role player. Like, I know calling somebody who's averaging 18 is kind of crazy, like as a role player, but I mean, for the most part, he's a very high-level role player, starter.
All-star caliber.
Yeah. I would even say he's not that, though. I feel like he's a step below that.
Nah, he's all-star caliber.
He's not an all-star caliber player.
I think he is at this point, especially given the fact that when Ja's down, they don't miss a lick because Desmond Bane's
but he
input
doesn't.
for offense.
But when Morant goes down, Desmond Bane's averages don't go up; they stay the same.
When Ja went out for the first go around, this guy was averaging what, 23 points?
He was averaging 19.
When Ja was out,
If you could check his
Let's
stats
see.
without Ja Morant, he averages 19, and then everybody else gets buckets virtually. Like, I think what Desmond Bane to the Grizzlies is going to be is what Dylan Brooks was to the Grizzlies. What he still is to the Grizzlies, where he's going to score 17, 18 points per game, but we don't view Dylan Brooks as an all-star.
he was averaging 22 points during Morant's 9-game absence.
But like in totality,
Let's see.
because they played
Stat
how many?
news.
I think they're like 17 and 9 or 19 and 2 without John Morant.
Yeah, so it's 21 games.
StatMuse is taking his career into account
Let me search
this
up
season.
this season.
Here we go.
He averages 19 points in 22 games without Ja Morant this season. So that's like what, 1 point more than his regular season average?
Yeah, 1 point.
So for me, it's like they win because everybody as a cohesive unit step up in his absence. It's not like Desmond Bane takes his game to all-star level and is just dominating. That's why to me, it's like Desmond Bane's a great player, but I don't view him in that all-star lens.
Okay, so this is pick 20.
This is my final pick.
24.
23.
Oh, wait, but I just picked Franz with 23.
You picked 22.
No,
I had
you
22,
picked
23, 24. Yes, because I should be the last pick.
Your pick 24.
You're right, because I had 21, then you had 22 and 23. You're right. So you don't have no last pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ring my music, please. For me, I'm going Tyrese Maxey.
Over Bane,
Yeah, no, I'm going Tyrese Maxey. You know, I love his offense. I love the fact that he's versatile in many different roles, and I feel like playing with James Harden and Embiid is really going to help his game develop. You know, I feel like that definitely matters. You know, playing with veterans, playing with guys that have experience. You know, I like his game, the way he finishes at the basket, and the fact that he's a really good combo guard. So for me,
does his inconsistency worry you?
No, I just feel like he has to find his footing. I feel like,
And confidence to a degree.
I think he had confidence, but when Harden got here, he had to adjust. And for a young player, that's a struggle for them. But I feel like now, after next year would be a better year to fully evaluate it because now he done seen how Harden has played and stuff like that. But he has to adjust to not only Harden, but how Harden is either up or down when he is Embiid too. So it's like it's been a difficult process, but I think he'll be fine.
You're okay with picking Tyrese Maxey over John Collins?
Yeah, I'm undoubtedly okay with that. Like, I'm not even thinking twice about it.
So you're okay with picking him over Miles Bridges?
Yeah.
And OG Anunoby?
Absolutely. I feel like OG is going to be what OG is going to be.
And Keldon Johnson?
Yeah.
And Josh Giddey?
I would have picked Keldon at 25.
Okay. So now, Drew, this is the big board I have left, which is you have the honors of the very last pick.
Let's go.
So
Congratulations.
the big board I have left is John Collins, Miles Bridges, OG Anunoby, Keldon Johnson, Tyler Hero, and Desmond Bane. Now you have the last pick, and with your selection, you make.
He's going to pick.
Now, it's between Desmond Baines and Miles Bridges.
No Tyler Hero.
Oh, that's a tough one for you.
Now, I have Tyler Hero for me at number 25. My big board right now has Miles Bridges and Desmond Bane both over him.
Well, now you have to decide because there's those three.
Defense is heavily on my mind, which is why you hit my music already?
Hit it again.
Yeah, please hit my music again. With the 25th pick, the final pick in this under 25, top 25, I'm going Desmond Bane.
I mean, that was obvious.
Yeah,
it was obvious. You added more suspense to it.
I had to make it a little bit. I had to shake it up a little bit, but it is obvious. Desmond Bane, the significant jump that he's taken in his offensive side of the game, and to be a great 3-and-D player, it's really hard to find, especially, I guess you shouldn't say hard to find. It's not hard to find, especially in this NBA, but to be at the level that Bane is already at this point in his career, that is hard to find. So with number 25, I'm going Desmond Bane.
Okay, so to recap our top 25, under 25 players draft.
This is the pick a side one, baby.
Yes, pick a side, 25, under 25 draft. We're going to start 1, 2.
I do not remember.
You don't remember your picks? I
picks.
kind of knew you didn't because I have the list because I wrote it down just in case. So I'm going to send it to you on your phone so you have the ability to read it.
Why can't you just read the whole thing?
You could send to the pick a side.
You want me to read the whole thing?
Picks,
I mean, you might as well just read the whole thing. I feel like us going boom, 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 boom. He could just 125.
Okay, you're right.
Knock it down.
So this is our pick a side, top 25, under 25 players draft. We all drafted. Riv had the first pick. Drew had the second one. I had the third. Then we kept going. So number 1 is Luka. Number 2 is Jason Tatum. Number 3 is Zion. Number 4 is Trae Young. Number 5 is Ja Morant. Number 6 is Cade Cunningham. Number 7 is Anthony Edwards. Number 8, LaMelo Ball. Number 9, Evan Mobley. Number 10, Scotty Barnes. Number 11, Darius Garland. Number 12, Bam Adebayo. Number 13, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 14, Brandon Ingram. Number 15, Tyrese Halliburton. Number 16, Jaren Jackson Jr. Number 17, RJ Barrett. Number 18, Jalen Green. Number 19, Jordan Poole. Number 20, Jared Allen. Number 21, Josh Giddey. Number 22, DeAndre Ayton. Number 23, De'Aaron Fox. Number 24, Franz Wagner. And 25, Tyrese Maxey. I feel like I said a number twice. Did I?
You definitely did because Desmond Bane should be 25.
Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, with SGA, I had 13 here written. I guess Desmond Bane didn't make the cut.
That's all right.
Sucks to suck. Literally. Get better.
I'm trying to see because I feel like, man, we really messed up these numbers.
I was lost. I'm not going to front.
It's a tough. That's 25. I feel like that's the list, though. Keep Desmond Bane off. He's a good player, but, next year, we'll redo it.
So, yeah, Luka, Tatum.
Desmond Bane and Maxey's a conversation.
So, Luka, Tatum, Zion, Trae, Ja, Cade, Edwards, LaMelo, Mobley, Barnes, Garland, Adebayo, SGA, Ingram, Halliburton, Jaren Jackson Jr., RJ Barrett, Jalen Green, Jordan Poole, Jared Allen, Josh Giddey, Ayton, Fox, Franz, and Maxey. So, yeah. Desmond Bane was 26.
Sorry.
So,
honorable mention.
Get better.
Yeah. I'm just going to read it again. Okay. So, read it again for this, just so we could make everything clear. So, 25 players under 25 pick-a-side draft. We all drafted them. Riv had 1, Drew had 2, I had 3. Number 1 is Luka, 2 is Tatum, 3 Zion, 4 Trey, 5 Ja, 6 Cade, 7 Edwards, 8 LaMelo, 9 Mobley, 10 Barnes, 11 Garland, 12 Adebayo, 13 SGA, 14 Ingram, 15 Halliburton, 16 Jaren Jackson Jr., 17 RJ, 18 Jalen Green, 19 Jordan Poole, 20 Jared Allen, 21 Josh Giddey, 22 DeAndre Ayton, 23 De'Aaron Fox, 24 Franz, and 25 Tyrese Maxey. The players that got snubbed: John Collins, Miles Bridges, OG Anunoby, Keldon Johnson, and Desmond Bane.
Don't sound like snubs to me.
So you guys, when you guys do the math and you figure out that number 19 was Riv, make sure that
Who's
he knows.
19? Oh, Jordan Poole?
Yeah.
That was undoubtedly me. I'll tell you. That boy is nice.
We almost had a perfect list, man. Thanks a lot.
You folded at like pick 10.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Who?
What you had? LaMelo like 8.
What's wrong with that?
Come on, bro.
And you guys let me get Garland at 11.
I didn't let you do anything.
That's what happened.
Garland probably would have been 11 for me.
And what, LaMelo's like 15, 16 for you then?
I would put SGA over LaMelo.
You're bugging.
He's a dog.
He's
Dog
good,
head.
sure.
He's what?
He's really good.
And what is LaMelo if he's really good?
He's borderline amazing.
That's not a conversation. SGA is way better right now.
My team is Zion, Cade, Mobley, Adebayo, and Halliburton.
It's a good team. I clearly have the best team, though.
Tatum, Ja,
Because you had the
LaMelo.
first pick.
Yeah, Luka clears. I have Luka, Trey. Who else I have? I have Poole, though. Maxey. My bottom 2 is like iffy, but we move.
On to the first round preview. Let's start in the Eastern Conference.
Finally.
We have no idea as of right now at the time
Jared
of
Allen is
recording.
playing.
I know, but we have no idea who the Heat will face in the first round, whether it's the Cavs or the Hawks. But we're going to preview this series anyway. Now, the Miami Heat, their fan base has come after us on multiple occasions because we said they have started to implode. And luckily for them and their fan base, they got blessed with the first seed in a very easy path to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, for one, the question I have, are you still not sold on the Heat? And the other question is, what do you envision happening if they face the Cavs or Hawks?
The Hawks is an intriguing matchup for me because I feel like they can make this series competitive. You know, I think
Hawks more so than the Cavaliers.
I do believe so because I think Atlanta has a little bit more experience than the Cavs, and I feel like experience really does matter in the playoffs, especially for young guys. And I also think they have a guy. You know, I think Trae Young far exceeds Garland at this point right now, and he's shown the ability that he can just turn up on any moment. And then when he does, Atlanta gets it going, and then at home they get dangerous. Sometimes their shooters just start hitting. Then it gets dangerous. But I think Atlanta would be a much more entertaining matchup for viewership purposes. But I do think Heat beat either team in 6 games, 5 games, I think regardless. The Heat's defensively, they're just too good right now at the moment. You know, you got one of the best defensive fives in the league in Miami.
100%.
Offensively, I don't think they need to be elite to beat either of these teams because defensively, I think they'll be able to hold their own. I'm just going to be interested to see a lot of the young guys in this matchup. Garland, Tyler Hero, you know, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley. Like, this is what I'm really interested in. How are these young guys going to produce in their first
John
or
Collins,
second
bro.
matchups? Not really acknowledging him. But I'm really interested to see that. So for me, Heat in 5 or 6, whoever they play doesn't really matter to me.
You got to pick one, bro. Heat in 5 or Heat in 6?
Well, it depends on who they play. All right, so if Heat play the Hawks, Heat in 6. If they play the Cavs, Heat in 5.
Ooh. And the Cavs just gave the Nets a really great game. And I don't know where you're leaning, Celtics and Nets.
Oh, you'll find out.
And now that Allen's playing, I really don't know if Atlanta's going to beat the
Allen hasn't played in
Cavaliers.
like 2 months.
I'm not saying that
The Hawks have beat the Cavs 3-1 this year.
The Hawks are
With Jared.
a solid team. No, I understand.
Like, even with Jared Allen, they give him trouble.
Let me say this before we continue on. This is for the fans and for you guys. I don't care nothing about the regular season anymore. Like, throw it out the
course.
window for me.
Because the Hawks and the Knicks had a similar
I
record.
don't.
to
I
them
don't.
going
Regular
into the
season doesn't
playoffs.
matter. It doesn't move me anymore. It doesn't shake me. We are in a new era of basketball. We are in a new stage. This is playoff intensity.
No doubt.
So for me, the Cavs, the Heat, the Hawks, pardon me, will give the Heat more of a run because of their experience, because of Trae Young, and he can turn up at any moment. It's still a wait and see on Garland. It's still a wait and see on Mobley. Jared Allen, I kind of understand that defense is still going to be there. So
Yeah.
for me, That's how it goes.
Okay.
So the Cavs are 1-2 against the Hawks when Allen plays.
I think it's going to be a great game tonight. I think that I mentioned last show that Trae Young can get into one of those zones and he could backpack the team and get them past any team. He just has those type of capabilities, especially in a one-game playoff. So I think tonight's going to be a dogfight. I do believe that with Allen coming back, that's going to clean up some defensive things, give them a little bit of some kind of spark in the interior with offense. I do think that I do have the Cavaliers winning this game. I think Garland's going to show out. I think that with Allen's return, it's going to be tough for them to get in the paint, even though that's not really the Hawks' game. But regardless of that fact, I think that the defensive presence is going to be too strong for Atlanta. I think the Cavaliers do get past them. But I'm going to keep this preview as if it's a 50-50 chance, and I'll give it my perspective for both series if need be. So I do have the Heat winning regardless. I have the Heat winning in 5 games. I think that the Heat need to put an exclamation point on this series, whether it be 4 games or 5 games. If it goes 6, it's going to allow people like us who have been very critical, especially me, throughout the entire season. I've been very critical of, I don't know if they have the offensive firepower to be a true contender for the championship. Defensively, you're 100% right, Riv. They have one of the best starting 5s on the defensive side of the ball in the NBA, but I do have my reservations about their offense. But that should not be an issue against neither the Cavaliers nor the Hawks. I think that so long as Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo play their game, you still have Kyle Lowry providing any type of input towards this game, I think that they will be more than fine and more than capable to get by them, because these two teams, where Trae Young, yes, he's amazing. He could get a game. You have Garland, who just can have one of those performances, not on the level of Trae Young by any means, but Garland has shown against the Nets that he can put a team on his back and keep them in a game, but still, unfortunately, not be able to get it done. I think that regardless of how you shake it, the Heat win a series in 5 games. I give both these teams the respect of giving them 1 game, because they show that they could be in a game with any team, given the fact that against the Nets, who people are considering contenders, the Cavs really gave them a run for their money on the Nets' home floor, and the Hawks still have Trae Young. And Trae Young, like I said, is capable of getting 1. We saw Tatum last year against the Nets' Big 3 get 1 by dropping an unbelievable 50-point performance. Trae Young is capable of having a performance like that and getting the Hawks 1 game, but it won't ultimately matter in the end. I have the Heat in 5.
Those is crispy.
The Hawks will beat the Cavs in the play-in tonight, and I'm going to be happy when they do. Watching a Heat and Cavs series is not something I'm looking forward to. It's going to be
You got a vendetta against the Cavs.
It's going to be a very ugly offensive series, very high-intense defense.
Agreed.
The Heat would sweep them. I think it's not even like the Cavs beat them twice this season, but both times have been without Jimmy Butler. I don't think the Cavs have enough offense to beat any team in the playoffs. Like in a series or whatever, like they just are too limited offensively.
Agreed.
That I just don't have faith in them. The Hawks are intriguing. This is the same core that went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. This is the same exact team. Trae Young, there's something about him when he faces the Miami Heat. He has a vendetta against them. It all started back last year in overtime versus Jimmy Butler.
Facts.
They talked a lot of trash.
Facts.
There is a rivalry there, and that's what I want to see in the playoffs. The Hawks have beat the Heat multiple times this season. It's not a good matchup for the Heat because they have a lot of offensive firepower. They pick apart Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus. Those are defensive liabilities for the Heat. That series is going to be highly competitive. It's going to go to 6 if they face the Hawks. I was low on the Heat. I've been low on them. I don't view them as contenders. I don't think they'll win the championship. But that's not me saying that they won't get out the first round. Because ultimately, the Miami Heat are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. It's as simple as that. The road they have is easy.
Super easy.
They're going to face the Hawks or Cavs. They're going to beat them. Next series, they're facing Philadelphia. Do I trust James Harden? I don't. Do I trust Philly to even get out the Toronto series?
I mean,
I'm not sure. And versus Toronto, I think the Heat should definitely win that series.
If Philly gets out Toronto, I feel like they're fully prepared to play Miami. Like, if they get out of Toronto and they beat Toronto, I feel like they are fully mentally, physically prepared to play Miami. Because I feel like Toronto defensively is just as aggressive and just as gritty as Miami. So that would be a tough one, though.
Miami's better defensively.
No, yeah, they're better, but I think that, like, in terms of like physicality, aggressiveness, I think they're just as good as Miami. I think at Toronto's best defensively, they can be just as good as Miami, especially their 5.
I mean, we'll get into the Toronto Sixers series later, but just spoiler alert: don't give me your winner. Just give me how many games that series goes.
Toronto Sixers.
Toronto Sixers? Damn. 6 games.
Okay. So 6 games, either way, Philly or Toronto. That's a dogfight of a series. That's a highly competitive series.
I don't think it's one blowout.
So you're talking about, let's say Philly wins that series. They get out of it. Highly competitive. Harden's already dealing with his little, nicks and knacks and injuries. I don't really trust that against Miami. Like, I think Miami has a very easy path to the conference finals.
Jimmy Butler has also been battling with injuries all season too.
Yeah. I just think the Heat are in perfect position to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Hawks would be the most competitive first-round series. The Heat, to me, are one of the weaker first seeds that I've seen in recent memory. I don't think they're a very strong team, but because they have an easy path, they're going to get to the conference finals.
Who's weaker, them or Philadelphia?
How was that week, though? Atlanta and then Philly. How was that a weak Eastern Conference path?
That is a weak Eastern Conference
How
path.
so, though?
Well, look at last year with Philadelphia, right? You had Washington and then you had Atlanta. That was supposed to be a breeze. Similarly here, I agree with what you're saying. You have Atlanta, who's still a gritty team, same team as last season, who showed that they could go to the Eastern Conference Finals with this core. You still got to give them that respect. And then you have Philadelphia, who has James Harden, Joel Embiid. Either way you shake it, that's still one of the better duos, regardless of how Harden's been playing. You still got to give him that respect.
The Sixers don't play well against great teams. They beat Miami already this year, but Miami's more prepared to play them and beat them, in my opinion. One thing I'll say about the Heat, things are starting to click for them. Victor Oladipo, last 4 games, averaging 19 points per game. We've been talking about it all year long. He's their X factor. Like, if he can play at a very high level, now you can have a potential 5-man lineup of Jimmy, Kyle Lowry, Oladipo, Bam, PJ, and you don't drop off defensively anywhere. And I think that's huge for them. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA percentage-wise. They're one of the best defenses still. There's a lot of things going for Miami. I think this path makes it much easier for them because they probably don't have to exert that much energy going to the conference finals.
I agree.
Like, it's not like the Nets or Celtics path. Whoever Celtics and Nets is going to be a tough series. One of them has to go and face Milwaukee. The Heat don't have to face a team like that, which is why I think
it's
they have
very
a fairly
similar
easy
to last
path.
season. Super similar to last season. Where it's written in the stars for the Heat to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the projection.
I don't think
right
it's
now.
written in the stars.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
So you see Philadelphia or Toronto beating them?
Not Toronto. Nah, not Toronto. I think Philly can beat them, though.
I just don't see how. I don't see how you can look at the Heat's path and be like, they're Eastern Conference Finals locks.
Because you still got to give Philly that respect. And I don't disagree.
Atlanta and I think Atlanta. They're not going to come out of this and say like this was a dog fight. This is a tough series. It's going to be win, but it's going to be a tough series. And then Philly, that's still a tough ass series. They can still lose that series, bro.
It's facts.
Like, they can still lose that series. I mean, you're looking at, we can go and get to that when if it eventually happens, but the matchup's just like, Embiid is still Embiid. Harden, he's been struggling. Yes, I agree. He's been shaky. He's still James Harden. You got to have some type of respect. I mean, you could say that, but who is Jimmy Butler really in the playoffs? Who is Jimmy Butler?
I don't totally disagree with you, but
I think that's still a tough shit. You can't just fully say Miami's going to the
problem with the Sixers to me. Well, we'll talk about.
He's saying conference finals.
We'll talk about it later, but I have my reservations about Philly. I think that they're valid, and that's why I think
I'm with you.
I think the Heat have a fairly easy road to the conference finals.
I wouldn't say easy. That's just a little disrespectful.
Do we want to just go on to the Sixers?
No, I want to talk about the Celtics.
We're talking about them right now, though. Might as well.
You want to
keep
talk
it in order, bro. Stop being a jumper.
I mean, bro, we're literally talking about Toronto and Sixers for the past 5 minutes. Let's just go right into it.
Okay. Sixers versus the Raptors. The Sixers 51-31 in the regular season, 4th seed. The Raptors 38-34, the 5th seed. Now, the Raptors are 3-1 against the Sixers this season, 2-0 versus the Sixers when they've had Embiid and Harden, and those games have been without OG Anunoby and Fred VanVleet, who will be playing in the playoffs.
Yep.
Now, Riv, based off what you've been saying for the past couple of minutes, it sounds like you have Philly winning this series in 6.
Yeah, I do have Philly winning this series. And credit to them. Those are good wins. You know, Matisse will not be playing in Toronto because of COVID situations.
Yep.
But I'm under the belief that if you have two superstar caliber, not saying Harden's a superstar right now, but two superstar caliber players, you should be able to thug out a series like this. And Toronto is going to be a tough series. And that's a team that plays defense at a high level. It's a team that's going to full court pressure you. They're going to be basically 48 minutes of trying extremely hard, and they're going to give you everything they can give you. But I look at Philly, and I think and this is a big if, but if Harden, Maxey, Tobias, and Embiid can get it clicking, I really don't think Toronto can step with them if those four can just get it clicking. Defensively, this is going to be a tough series, but the reason why Embiid struggled in certain series, like I'm going to use Toronto, for example, in 2019, they had elite big men defenders that can really check him. Toronto right now doesn't have a big man. I don't trust Ken Birch in a 7-game series to guard Embiid. I don't trust OG. I don't trust Scotty. He's a rookie. No. Siakam is too skinny. He's not strong enough to stay with Embiid. They're going to throw a lot of double teams, which is going to create a lot of opportunities for Harden and Maxey and Tobias Harris. And he has to hit their shots. They do. And I think if they hit their shots, they can definitely win the series and make this competitive. But Toronto's going to make this a fight. Regardless, this is going to be a 6, possibly 7-game series, because in Toronto it's going to be tough because they don't have Matisse, and I think Matisse is going to be able to check anybody in Toronto's starting 5 when he does play. But I got Philly in 6.
Let me ask you before I give my analysis. Do you believe that that Embiid by himself can win the Sixers this series?
I believe Harden is going to be better than what he's shown us.
But my main question is, do you believe?
No, if Harden stinks it up, they don't win.
All right,
they don't win.
All right.
They don't win.
Because I'm under the same exact impression.
Harden stinks up, they do not win.
Now, this is going to be the second best series of the first round, in my opinion. I think that this is going to be, like Riv said, a dogfight. I have this series going 7 games. Now, you look at Toronto, they have one of the best defensive starting 5s in the NBA as well. Super young. You have Fred VanVleet, who has been excellent this season offensively. You have Pascal Siakam, who's most likely going to make an All-NBA team, most likely the 3rd All-NBA team. You have players like OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr., and, of course, Scotty Barnes, who is going to be a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Defensively, they're a great defensive unit, but offensively, they're a very I wouldn't call them great. They're definitely really good. I believe that with the lack of bigs that Toronto has, Joel Embiid's going to probably average 30 to 35 points per game. He is not going to be stopped by this Toronto defense. There's nothing they can do. Joel Embiid is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But they need to accept that and try to minimize James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, because that gives them the best chance of, you know what? We're not going to be able to stop Joel Embiid. Let's put him on an island. Let's let him try and beat us by himself. The key to us not losing is minimizing Harden, minimizing Maxey, because we've seen Harden be inconsistent since coming to Philadelphia, and we've seen Maxey since Harden has come to Philadelphia also in moments not be the aggressive Maxey that we saw early in the season. We saw against the Nets, Maxey really shied away, and then weirdly enough, against Miami, you had Maxey, who was the reason why they were able to get past them. But you still have moments here and there from that time period, that Maxey just kind of shies away from the moment and doesn't want the opportunity. So I do have my concerns with Philadelphia. I think this goes 7, and I think that given James Harden's inconsistent play of recent and Matisse Thybulle's not playing on the road, I think that plays a huge factor. And I do believe that the Raptors are going to win in 7 games.
People look at this series and they count out Toronto. Philadelphia is a team that has been getting favored as of recently, in my opinion, when I've read a lot of these writers' predictions. And the reason is because they feel like they're getting James Harden of old. James Harden is not the same player. And as somebody who has watched James Harden, made it a habit of mine, a life habit of mine, every day for the past couple of years, he is not the same player this season. You talk about Embiid doing what he does against Toronto. That's a given. He's going to average 30. He's going to get his rebounds. He's going to do what Embiid does. Nobody can guard him, but that doesn't matter. Toronto doesn't need to stop Embiid.
100%.
They don't need to stop him. James Harden versus Toronto this year in Philly, averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds, 11.5 assists, but 4.5 turnovers, shooting 33% from the field and 12% from 3. Tobias Harris is averaging 12 points per game versus Toronto this year. Tobias Harris is not reliable in the playoffs. James Harden right now, based on what I've seen this season, is not reliable in the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey, I like him a lot. I don't know what I'm going to get.
So who on Toronto is reliable in the playoffs?
Fred VanVleet.
Fred is reliable. Pascal Siakam's
as a
reliable.
number one?
I'm not saying as number one, but I'm saying
as a number
I trust
one.
those guys. And guess what? This is what I also say. Even if they're not reliable to give you a given 20 a night, I know the energy, effort, defensive intensity is going to be
100%.
there. Harden,
every player
Harden is
lineup.
not playing any defense.
Nope.
Tobias Harris is not a good defender. Tyrese Maxey is undersized. And then Danny Green. He used to be a very valuable role player. He's not that anymore. The Sixers have no depth whatsoever. The Raptors beat the Sixers already without Fred, without OG. Precious averaged 20 points per game in the last 2 games versus them. He was hitting transition pull-up threes against them. He was on one. Gary Trent averaged 20 versus the Sixers. Their role players have stepped up. They've stepped up huge, and they all play defense. The Sixers' biggest problem is not that Harden is not necessarily himself. Their biggest problem is that they don't have any depth. Outside of those big 4 guys, you have Danny Green, Niang, and Shake Milton that you can really rely on. And then you got guys like Paul Reed and Isaiah Joe. I don't rely on those guys in a playoff series. The Sixers are not good against good or great teams. They went 7-6 against teams who made the play-in or playoffs this year. Thibault can't play in Toronto. And the Raptors, surprisingly, are great against top teams. They are 7-2 this year against the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. They outscore Philly by 11 points with Chris Boucher or Pascal Siakam being the tallest player on the court. So they haven't played big against Philadelphia, and they've had success. And just to talk about the depth, Philly has been outscored 61-36 in Embiid's 21 minutes off the floor versus Toronto. So if Embiid is not on the floor, even if it's a 3 to 5 minute stretch, Toronto can easily take control of the game. The Raptors are better coached.
100%.
They're more disciplined.
Agreed.
They're third in turnover rate, which means they don't turn the ball over. They take care of it. And they're first in opponent turnover rate, which means they force turnovers. You look at James Harden, he's one of the more turnover-prone players in the NBA right now who's lost a step. I think this is Raptors in 6. I think this series is relying on Harden. It really is, because they don't have depth. They need Harden to be superstar level, and I don't think he'll be superstar level. Embiid is going to get his. The Raptors are better coached, like I said. They're more disciplined. They're better defensively, and they have more scoring options. They have more depth that I trust more at this moment in time.
You trust that depth to carry over into a playoff situation? You think Precious Achiuwa is going to pull up transition threes and hit him?
It's not about that, but listen, this is what I'm saying. I never said that.
No, you magnified the worst player in his argument.
No, he's going to be one of. He's going to be one of the depth guys.
You want me to name you the depth guys?
You said, Maxey's undersized when Fred VanVleet is literally shorter than him.
But Fred VanVleet, we know he's an all-star. He's an all-star.
But you tried to say he's undersized though. He's 6'3".
Is Tyrese Maxey a good defender?
A great defender. He's a really solid defender.
He's not a cone.
Is he Fred VanVleet on defense?
No,
he's not.
He's not. But you trying to say undersized? Like Fred VanVleet's 5'10".
I'm just saying, in Philadelphia's lineup, your best perimeter defender is Danny Green. If Matisse Thybulle's not playing in Toronto.
Well, the first 2 games are in Philly, young man. So we have
And
Matisse.
guess what? The problem with Philadelphia is that if you're starting Matisse and not Danny Green, now you have defense, but you don't have spacing. You start Danny Green, you have spacing, but your defense drops off. So they're really picking their poison in that avenue. Harden, Maxey, Tobias are not good defenders. When Thibault doesn't play, you have Danny Green out there. They can put Embiid in so many pick and roll situations and target him to the point that he might be gassed out. We've seen Embiid gassed out in fourth quarters in the playoffs before. Because of that, I feel like the Raptors have the advantage. And talking about the depth, Fred can give me 20 any night. Pascal can give me 20 any night. He averages 30 against Philadelphia in the season series.
But Maxey can also give you 20
Okay, but let me finish. Gary Trent averages 20 against the Sixers. He can give you 20 any night.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
OG can give you 20 any night.
And OG's really good.
The Raptors have 4 players who can give you 20 on any single given night.
Scotty?
And I'm not even, and Scotty, I wouldn't say 20. I'll say like a good 15.
He's a rookie, so what do you, come on.
And then I'm not even mentioning guys like Chris Boucher off the bench who've been huge for Toronto this year.
Been solid.
And Precious, who's been very solid against the Sixers in the season series. So what I'm saying is that the Raptors, not only do I trust them more, but I trust their effort and their intensity to be there every single possession.
So to answer my question, yes, you believe their depth is going to translate into the playoffs.
Their depth, yeah, but I actually just believe that their top guys are going to play very well.
Their depth's going to translate in the first round. Because I agree with you. Their depth, in my opinion, is lacking. I look at their starting 5, and that's the strength for them.
It's literally it for Philly, too.
On top of... But the thing is, Toronto has the defense to stop Philadelphia's guys outside of Joel Embiid.
And Thad Young.
Correct. That's another piece that was added. That was really nice.
He has experience.
I
respect that.
I want to adjust my analysis. If it goes 7 and Tyrese... And excuse me, I keep saying Tyrese. And Thybulle's able to play in Philadelphia. Correct. I think that Philadelphia has a strong chance to win that game. So I'm gonna adjust my analysis. I think the Raptors are gonna win in 6 because that game 6 in Toronto is gonna be huge for them.
That is gonna be a very tough game.
And you mentioned it perfectly. Nick Nurse is a better coach than Doc Rivers.
Agreed.
And if it gets to a point where he can't adjust to his guys underperforming, which has been a huge blemish on Doc Rivers' name, being unable to make adjustments throughout a series, Nick Nurse is gonna coach circles around him.
I agree. No, that's Nick Nurse clears. He clears. I just think, playoff star power definitely matters.
I don't disagree.
To a high end. And Toronto's a really, really good ass team. Like, they're defensively, they're dogs. But from what we've seen, Pascal's at number 1 isn't that good. He's not that good.
But this is a different Pascal.
You could say that.
And Fred VanVleet has taken it up a notch too.
He's really good.
You can say that, but who's guarding Pascal?
Matisse will lock Pascal up.
He didn't lock him up when they played.
In a regular season game.
Matisse.
I mean, like, it's a regular season game.
There's a chance that Matisse only plays 3 games. 4, excuse me. Apologize.
Yeah, he'll play 4. Well,
so who's guarding Pascal when Matisse can't play in Toronto?
That'd be a tough one.
Nobody.
Is Embiid going to have to play defense on Pascal? It's the only option.
He can't play defense on Pascal.
Why can't he?
He can't defend him. I've seen Pascal cook him, too.
God. Who's going to guard Embiid, bro?
Nobody has to.
We said it.
What do you mean nobody has to?
He averaged 30 in the season series and they still lost.
You're talking about a regular... Okay, you're talking about a season series that you just said doesn't really matter.
Let's not talk about the regular season.
We don't need to. It doesn't matter.
Let's just talk about it projecting, right? You have Embiid, who we said is going to give at minimum 30 points per game. We have an inconsistent Harden.
I'm projecting Harden's going to be better than what he has been.
But how can you do that?
It's projecting.
But which I'm fine with, because
you just projected Pascal's going to be better. So I can't project.
But my point is, Pascal has already had a run where he was great. But as the number 1, I understand. But this regular season, he has been nothing but consistent.
I mean, he was consistent.
Harden has been inconsistent. Maxey has been inconsistent.
I don't like this whole thing you're doing where you're just throwing out the regular season.
You have
I
to.
understand it's the. I understand it's the playoffs.
We're going to throw out the regular season where Harden has been inconsistent, but suddenly he's going to turn it on in the playoffs.
Okay. Let me not say you completely throw it out. Let me not say that. That's disrespectful. I'm not going to say you have to completely.
Pascal's all NBA this season.
But I'm going to say regular season doesn't always translate to the playoffs, especially with veteran guys. Like, it doesn't always translate. Like, I get it. Regular season, the matchup looks funky, but in the playoffs, all that can change. Some coaches don't even use their schemes in the regular season that they use in the playoffs. Like, it's in the playoffs, it's such a different vibe. Like, it's just
I know it's a different vibe, but this is what I'm going to say.
That is true.
Even though regular season, I understand that it doesn't matter. Like, a team can win the regular season series. Like, for example, the Nuggets won the regular season series against Golden State. Yeah. You want to know why I throw that out, though? Because Draymond Green didn't play for any of those games. And Steph, Clay, nor Dre played for any of those games all together, which that's going to happen in the playoffs. With Toronto, it wasn't like they had an unfair advantage. No, Philly played all of their guys. Tobias, Maxey, Harden, and Embiid. They all played with Thibault as well. Yep. And Toronto played without 2 of their top guys and still beat them. That's why it matters. I still don't think it matters. The matchups matter. That's why that matters.
I still don't think it
and
matters.
the way I saw Scotty Barnes guarding Harden and his length bothering him, I saw him pickpocket him multiple times. That is definitely going to translate. Like, we see that happen.
And again, if they allow Embiid to just do what he's going to do and really hone in on Harden, Tobias, and Maxey, which is more than possible, how or what offensive output can they put forth to get past them? Again, which is why I started my analysis with, can Embiid by himself?
I said no.
So there it is.
But I think I'm projecting Harden's going to be better.
And what's allowing you to project that Harden's going to be better?
He's a superstar caliber player, bro.
But we haven't seen that in the playoffs basically his entire career. Basically.
No, we have. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. We haven't seen Harden all season long be even an all-star caliber player, I would argue.
It's not ridiculous.
I don't want to say that.
Facts.
He's been an all-star caliber
He's
player.
been, for most of the season, he's been below that.
He's averaging almost a triple-double, but efficiency's been terrible, and it's been an ugly. It's ugly.
That's true. I don't know. I just think, like, come playoff time, they got a lot to prove, bro. Philly, like, they have that chip on their shoulder. They have a lot to prove. They have the mentality. We have to prove something. Harden has a lot to prove. I think he'll definitely be better.
He doesn't, though. He literally said, "I have nothing to prove" in his press conference.
Was that a stab in the
heart? Was that like a fact?
Bro?
Was that like a fact, or somebody just made that up?
No, he said it. He said, "I have absolutely nothing to prove."
He's a fool.
He really, so he like, this wasn't like something like
no,
fixed up.
He said that quote.
Wow.
He said, "I have absolutely nothing to prove."
Why did he say that? What's wrong with him?
I guess they asked him the question and he said that.
Well, Embiid has something to prove, bro. But not Toronto's a tough team. I don't know. I just feel like Philly. I still got Philly.
Philly in 6.
Nah,
Philly in 7. All right.
Philly in 7.
All right.
Definitely Philly.
You talked about, you said the Raptors are going to be the best series, the Sixers
second
and Raptors?
best.
Second best.
Because the best one's Celtics and Nets, right?
100%.
Celtics 51-31, third seed versus the Nets 44-38, seventh seed. Now,
this would have been my second best series.
I don't.
One?
Utah and Dallas.
Yuck.
Luka's not even
That's
playing.
why I said this would have been my second.
Now, I don't know what Riv's going to say. I know what you're going to say, though. So, why are the Celtics going to win this series? Drew.
The Celtics are going to win this series because since the All-Star break, they have proven that they are the best team in basketball. Now, what really makes this a little bit more difficult is that Rob Will is not going to be playing at the start of the series. With Rob Will, his presence, his versatility defensively is going to be missed desperately. Now, regardless of that fact, Rob Will is still projected to come back in this series, as supposedly is Ben Simmons. However, we shall see. They're targeting as early as Game 4. Again, that's TBD. But
for example, I mean, just for your information, Rob Will is coming back, but if he does, it's going to be Game 6 or 7. It's not going to be
if they
early
go
in the
to
series.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
okay, all right. So regardless of that fact, the Celtics have been the best defense in the NBA. They have been one of the best offensives in the NBA since the All-Star break. And now what really scares people is the duo of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving for obvious reasons. They are arguably, and in my opinion, the best offensive duo in basketball. But it comes with worries when the rest of the supporting cast is in question, and they are super inconsistent. Bruce Brown, his play, you can respect his role for the team. I can't trust Bruce Brown being my third, fourth best player in a series and getting me past the Celtics, who have been unbelievable defensively and offensively, have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, who can put up with any team. And Tatum has shown that by himself, he has the capabilities to propel his team to a victory. And I just think that I look at the Celtics, and they're playing better team-oriented basketball than the Brooklyn Nets right now. If KD or Kyrie, which, listen, KD and Kyrie, either or, they're more likely than not going to play bad. But if one of them has an off night, you can guarantee that the Celtics are going to win that game. Because these two need to be perfect for the Nets to get past the Celtics. And again, if you really want to look at it like this, the Celtics, if you watched our football episode, our buddy Joel, our buddy Joel Dehls said this perfectly. How can you expect the Celtics to compete with the Bucks, to compete with the Suns, if they can get past the Nets? If you are really the championship contender that you are, you get past the Nets and you don't look back. Because there's no way that you are statistically the best defense in basketball and record-wise the best team in the NBA since the All-Star break, and you can't get past a team that has been super inconsistent throughout the season. What you can look to is that KD, when he's on the court, has been great.
Let him go.
But I'll say this. I think the team-oriented basketball will win, and ultimately right now the Celtics are the best team-oriented basketball team that there is.
Well, that's easy. What Joe said is very easy to pick apart.
Casual.
For one, they can't.
It's not casual. You can't get past the Nets, who everyone has as contenders.
They were the number one team before Kevin Durant went down. They were the number one team in the East. They were better than us. They were better than the Celtics. They were better than the Bucks. They were better than the Heat when Kevin Durant was healthy and playing at an MVP level.
They were still inconsistent.
But they were the best team. So
I'm not saying
I don't know why he said that.
No, that's not true. But
what's not true? What he's saying or me?
Joe said, how do you expect the Celtics to beat the Bucks? I don't. How do you expect the Celtics to beat the Suns? I don't. I don't think the Celtics win the championship. I think
with Rob Will,
if they beat the Nets, they're losing to the Bucks in the second round.
With Rob Will,
you can have him.
You know, I don't. Even if Rob Will plays this series, I don't think it changes much. I don't. I really don't.
I'd love to hear why.
The season series this year is 3-0. The Celtics have won, but 2 of those wins came without KD or Kyrie. The one win was on March 6th. They won 126-120. 28 lead changes, tied 19 times. KD, 1 game fresh off his MCL injury, dropped 37. Aldridge dropped 14 points. I thought he was pretty huge in that game. Kyrie had 19 points, 8 for 18, didn't even play that well. Bruce Brown actually has been playing well for the Celtics. Last 2 games, 15, 6, and 5, and he shoots 40% from 3 this season on 1 attempt, which isn't a large sample size.
It's nothing.
It's nothing, but Bruce Brown, he's not Matisse Thybulle out there. Like, Bruce Brown has hit clutch threes this season. He's capable of hitting big shots.
He's serviceable on offense.
Now, in that game...
He's serviceable. I'm not saying that he's anywhere near the word
if
good.
You don't guard him.
Which is why he is as effective as he is.
Now, in that game, Tatum had a career night. 54 points, a career game, 54 points. Rob Will had 5 blocks, 4 in the first quarter. And Jaylen Brown, although he didn't have 30, he had 21 on 8 for 17 shooting, which is really damn good efficiency. I want to give props to the Celtics. It was a great in-season turnaround. They started out 25-25, then went 26-6, which was one of the best records in the NBA in the second half of the season. But the Nets, and I said this on Twitter, this isn't a 2-7 matchup. And part of the reason why people are giving the Celtics the benefit of the doubt in this series and they're betting on them is because this does have some Suns versus Lakers last year vibes where, we're just picking the Lakers because they have LeBron and AD, and that's why we're picking the Nets because it's KD and Kyrie, but this is totally different. And the Celtics are not those Suns. They're not those Suns. Those Suns went to the finals. Those Suns are a well-oiled machine that run a cohesive system on offense that is damn near unstoppable. Those Suns are just as good defensively as those Celtics. Now,
no, they're not.
I mean, how? The Celtics are first defensive rating, the Suns are second.
Again, with Rob Will, this is a whole different story. It's a whole different story.
Now, the reason this isn't a 2-7 matchup, the Celtics and Nets is an Eastern Conference Finals matchup. It's unfortunate
100%.
that the Celtics faced the Nets in the first round. There is a reason why the Bucks intentionally ducked the Nets in the first round because they didn't want to face the Nets. The Nets are 36-19 with Kevin Durant in the lineup. That's a .655 win percentage, which would be first in the East. That's the best win percentage in the Eastern Conference with Kevin Durant. So the Nets with KD and Kyrie are a 1 seed. With KD and Kyrie, 123 offensive rating, the best in the NBA by far. They outscore teams by 13 points per 100 possessions when both of them are on the floor. The Nets finished on a 12-5 stretch, so they've gotten better towards the back half of the season. In the last 17 games, they've had the 8th best defense in the NBA. So they've been good defensively. They've been elite offensively. And this year, the Celtics struggle in close games. Only 13-22. Only the Indiana Pacers were worse. The Nets are 22-20 in clutch games. So that's a coin flip. Every single time Nets are in a tight game, it's a coin flip.
It's not that good.
They're going to win. I mean, it's better than 13-22.
And that's you accounting. You don't know who's playing, who's not playing.
Yeah. The Nets, in my opinion, they're going to win this series. And yeah, Rob Will could change it a little bit, but really, even if Rob Will is there, I still give the Celtics the edge. I think Ben Simmons, if he comes...
By the way, the Nets the edge.
Ben Simmons, if he comes back, if he doesn't, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think the Nets can beat the Celtics without Ben Simmons. I think if the Nets are in control of the series, Ben Simmons doesn't come back for this series. My question is, will LaMarcus Aldridge play? Will Blake Griffin play? I don't think so. They've both been outside of the rotation, which has kind of been confusing to me, but Steve Nash wants more defense, so that's why he goes out with James Johnson and Bruce Brown, and he has those guys come in. Patty Mills and Goran Dragic have to play really well this series, so their bench doesn't get outscored by a lot when KD and Kyrie are out, because when KD is out, the Nets really struggle. Like, they are horrible without him. So they need their bench to step up. But I think the Nets win this in 6. I think KD and Kyrie, just too much. Bruce Brown has filled his role as a roller, as a screener, being in the dunker spot.
I mean, this is what he did last season.
Yeah, but the thing
he
people
choked in the playoffs.
The thing people confuse about spacing is that spacing, you can have good spacing even if you're not a good shooter, as long as you're a good passer. And Bruce Brown is a good passer. Is he great? No, but he's a serviceable passer. That's the same reason why Memphis...
That's basically his game.
That's why they made the trade for Steven Adams and they shipped out Jonas, because Jonas is the one who offers more spacing, you would think, but Steven Adams is the better passer, so it's still been... Memphis has been able to keep that spacing even with Steven Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And they filled their hole at center with Andre Drummond, who now... Is he not the best rebounder in this series now? Those before Drummond, the Nets were giving up a lot of second chance opportunities because they didn't have that defensive rebounder. And Andre Drummond is somebody who fills that role. This, like I said, is an Eastern Conference Finals matchup. I don't think Celtics fans should be down if they lose this series because the Nets are a tough team and they're going to give the Bucks a run for their money in the next round. But I have the Nets in 6. I think KD and Kyrie, as long as they play, they can beat anybody in the NBA.
I do think the Celtics should be upset if they lose this first round series. You just did all of that.
Yep.
And you just had a damn near historic regular season, 100%. A historic turnaround, and you go and you lose in the first round. No matter who you play, you should be upset because you should have, after a historic run like that in the regular season, at least push for an ECF. In my opinion, Celtics is ECF or bust for me, honestly. I feel like if you just did that, it's ECF or bust.
I agree.
But they're young, so it's okay. Next year, blah, 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 but they should still be upset. That's Celtics. Celtics, I love their defensive scheme. I love the fact that they switch everything. Robert Williams, he's going to be missed because his interior defense, but I think they'll be fine. Al Horford has been good.
Definitely.
Marcus Smart is still that anchor for that defense. Jason Tatum has played like an all-NBA defender this year. Jaylen Brown can still play at an all-NBA defense. And Derek White, Payton Pritchard has been solid when he plays. So they're fine. I think they're fine. Yeah, Robert Williams is going to hurt, but I think with a team that doesn't have an interior offensive presence, it's not going to hurt. Like if they played the Bucks first round, then obviously Rob Brewer would have hurt mightily because Giannis, this guy, you could slow him down with that. But because Kevin Durant and Kyrie and them, they're not a dominant offensive presence, Robert Brewer is going to be missed as much.
Interior offensive presence.
And it really doesn't matter because Kevin Durant is shooting over anybody. Kyrie Irving is scoring on anybody. Regardless
but they
of
just
the switch,
have the best options to defend against them.
Yeah, but even without Rob Will, you're still going to have Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford,
Great
Derek
defensive
White.
Unit.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I don't think the Rob Will loss is that big of a loss.
In this matchup.
Their five-man defensive lineup is still elite.
Listen, when he's saying they don't have a chance against Milwaukee, they don't have a chance against the Suns, that is wrong when Rob Will's in the lineup. The Nets, 100%, which is why I still will pick the Celtics. They still have a unit that can defend against Kyrie. You're not gonna stop them. There's no stopping elite players like that. The only ones that can stop them are themselves. But regardless of that fact, you still have Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Derek White, Payton Pritchard, Grant Williams that can all defend at a solid to elite level. Like
you mentioned the bench. Patty Mills, Dragic have to play better. Of course, for me, the X factor is Seth Curry. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. If he gets it going. If he gets it going, he gives you that. Game. If he gets, Ankle injury, like I said.
No facts.
If he gets it going, gives you that 18, that 19 on 40%. His playoff splits are ridiculous, by the way. He's shooting like 50-50, 88, something like that. So if he gets it going and becomes that third guy for them, I don't think there's a guy on Boston offensively that can keep up with Seth Curry because of his shooting and the way he's able to just create on offense, running the pick and roll and able to shoot over the top. So it for me, I got Nets in 6. I think Kevin Durant, like I said, I don't think they're a 7-seed team. I just think they've been dealing with a lot of inconsistencies in the lineups, a lot of injuries. They were the number 1 team in the East when Kevin Durant was healthy, like at his best. He was an MVP candidate, and they were the number 1 team in the East. So for me, I have the Nets and Celtics. I think Kevin Durant and Kyrie in the playoffs, we know what they're going to do. Kevin Durant especially, he's probably the best player in the East right now in the playoffs. And I think right now, Jason Tatum, he's great. Jaylen Brown, they're great. But I think those other guys, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, they're going to be able to step it up. Patty Mills, Goran Dragic with that experience, that championship experience, those runs, that experience is going to help them too much. So for me, I got the Nets in 6.
And also, with Boston, they switch the most of any team in the NBA.
Switchable defense. I like it, though.
The thing about that is that switching on defense like that matters when you're facing an offense that runs a lot of sets and you have to switch off these screens. The Nets, it doesn't really bother them. Yeah, because with the Nets, they're switching, but they're ISOing regardless.
6'3", Derek White is not going to like Kevin Durant.
The Nets are ISOing regardless, so that's why the switching isn't going to be as impactful versus the Nets because, Durant and Kyrie are going to do what they do regardless on anybody. It doesn't matter who's on them.
Yeah, I like the Nets in this match. I wouldn't say the Bucks was ducking them, but
they were ducking them.
They benched everyone to not play them.
They intentionally lost.
What you mean? It's rest.
Nah, but it was corny of them.
Rest.
I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Seth Curry has better shooting splits in the playoffs than Steph, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He has less responsibility.
So what's the question?
I don't know what the question is.
No, that's the question. I was asking him if he had better splits.
He has better shooting splits than Harden, too. By far.
I was asking about Steph.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure that in case, and LeBron, if we wanted to be jokey.
The better brother.
He's better than all 3 of them. If that's the case, he has better splits than most guys. Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph, Harden, Jordan, Magic, Kareem, what do we want to keep going?
Well, that just proves that the Nets should win the series with Seth.
Even though he's hurt.
This is going to be a fun one.
It was an ugly game against the Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers
I actually think
and Celtics, it's leaps
the
and
Nets
bounds.
win in 7. I think this is a 7-game series.
You think I don't think the Nets win in Boston.
I think they can.
I
don't know why they can't.
I didn't say they can't. I just said I don't think they will. I think they have to win in 6.
If the Celtics go up 2-0, it could end in 5.
I don't think that's all the way fact. I've seen a lot of teams go up 2-0 and lose 2 straight.
I agree, but I think the Celtics are a different unit.
I saw the Nets in Game 7 lose to Milwaukee at home.
Tough. Because
of that, for me at least, I don't think when these teams are this talented, home court is going to really matter as much. I think Kyrie Irving would love the opportunity to shut Boston fans up in a Game 7. I think he would drop 40 in that type of environment and say, I'm going to drop 40 and then step on this logo and walk out too.
Yeah, and doing it on the Defensive Player of the Year, you just got to applaud him if he does it. But I don't know.
Mikal Bridges is playing this series?
Ooh.
Didn't it already come out that he won Defensive Player of the Year?
He's the favorite.
Yeah. I have the Celtics in 7. I would not be shocked if they won in 5.
I have Nets in 6. I would be shocked if anybody wins in 5, to be honest.
Yeah, this isn't a 5-game series.
This is definitely. I wouldn't. Why do you keep calling it an Eastern Conference matchup, though? You said the Celtics aren't going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They're an Eastern Conference Finals caliber team. They're better than Miami to me. The Nets are better than Miami to me.
Okay.
I think it's the Celtics, Nets, and Bucks are all in the tier of those Conference Finals teams, and the Heat are Conference Finals teams as well. We're getting a Conference Finals matchup in the first round.
Makes sense.
This is Conference Finals matchup for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Last series we're going to talk about in the East: Bucks versus Bulls.
We can kind of skim through this.
This is the saddest one of the East.
We don't need the, we could kind of just like.
You're the Bulls guy. So what's your faith level going into the series?
Oh, for me, I'm just, I'm kind of.
You happy to be here?
Happy to be here. I'm just happy. I'm excited to be back. It's been since 2017 since we made the playoffs. I'm excited to be in this environment. I'm excited to get that love back and experience the joy of being in the playoffs. For me, I'm just an observer. You know, in this playoffs, I'm just observing how Zach plays, observing how Pat Will looks, Kobe White, you know, all the young guys, just kind of seeing how they play and whatnot. But I don't expect us to win. If we do win, that'd be fucking insane, but I don't expect us to win. I don't even expect us to make competitive.
Nobody does.
That. Yeah,
Trust
so
me.
I expect us to be. No, we're better than y'all though. But I expect it to be a 4 or 5 game series. 5 if we get lucky.
Probably.
Let's get a win for the home team. You know, make it cool. But 4 or 5 game series.
They should make this game single elimination. We don't need to see 4 games of.
I mean, we saw you guys play the Hawks 5 times, so I think
we don't need to see 4 games of.
Saw Trae Young do this in the Garden. You know, ice
embarrass them.
Yeah, so if we had to see that, I think we can see this. You know,
we didn't have 3 All-Star caliber players though. Like,
did you have All NBA player though? We only have 1.
Would you classify Zach LaVine as All NBA though?
He didn't make it.
He won't make it, but he's a
no. We don't play.
Caliber,
We don't classify it. Who makes it? Julius makes it. DeMar's gonna make it.
Well, we know Julius isn't on that team.
Hey, listen,
and Julius was second team.
Wasn't he second? I don't think
DeMar's gonna be third.
Yeah. I mean, you had that. I mean, tough. I mean, what? Atlanta only had 1 All NBA player.
Yeah.
The Bucks have 3 All Stars also, and they have almost the MVP. It's a tough matchup, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what. This series is gonna break my heart because I would have loved to see the Bulls play literally any single other team. Any other team had to be Milwaukee.
It's life, man.
Unfortunately, man, this series is done.
Cooked up.
It's done. Regardless of what you want to say, the Bucks are better offensively. They're better defensively.
They're just better.
Have the best player in the series. Have the best perimeter defender in the series. Have the best interior defender in the series.
Yeah.
It's Bucks. It could be in 4. I'm giving y'all the respect of 5.
I hope we just get 1. I just want to see 1.
I want to see 1, but I want to see LaVine and DeMar play great every single game.
That'd be fair.
I want to see that. You guys are just too banged up, and maybe this is a conversation if Lonzo and Caruso are healthy together. But even still, I've kept it consistent. The one team that I can't have any team beat outside of maybe the Celtics. Milwaukee.
Yeah, you haven't been real consistent with them.
But of recent, I have been.
I mean, now you're all on the train.
I'm all in on. Yeah. I'm all in. Again, disclaimer: Riv was first on the wave. He knew. I want to put that out there. I have to put that out there every single time I talk about them. But it's going to be a breeze from Milwaukee.
You know, that's very high level analysis from you too. I'm glad that you gave me your takes on it. Just kidding, by the way. Let me get into why the Bulls suck. Because they have sucked. They've been real bad since Lonzo Ball's injury.
Mr. Role Player, you called him.
Yeah, he is a role player, but very valuable role player. I've always said he's a very valuable role player.
You haven't.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
I have.
You haven't.
You haven't. Don't do that.
Let's get into these glaring stats. The Bulls have a 2-21 record against league top 4 seeds.
That's insane.
They started 39-21. Riv, so happy. I had to make a Bulls apology. Even then, I regret it to this day. Worst decision I've ever made in my life on the basketball podcast.
That or
because
choosing the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
That's why I said basketball podcast.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Because I was right about the Bulls all along. Then they went 7-15. In that stretch, 28th in rebounding. Negative net rating on the season. Being a 6th seed in that's really bad.
Aren't y'all with the Knicks? Like y'all are.
We're below the Knicks in that rating, and they're not in the playoffs. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
And the Bulls after the Lonzo Ball injury, which was January 15th, 17th in offensive rating, 24th in defensive rating, 21st in net rating, 18th in pace, and 22nd in fast break points. Yikes! It's really, really bad. And they're last in 3-point attempts per game and 21st 3-point percentage. And you're right. The Knicks finished with the better net rating, and part of the reason why is because when we went young and Julius Randle wasn't playing, the Knicks were a very competitive team. You saw RJ Barrett drop 40 on Miami, the league's top defense.
Baby, go.
My thing is, you said all that to still say y'all didn't make the playoffs, and we did.
You're right. But what I'm saying here is that although you made the playoffs, it is for nothing. The Bucks are going to sweep you in 4 games. It's not.
It's for nothing.
Maybe one of those games.
Last season, basically 6. They lost in.
That's what he said.
Maybe one of those games, DeMar has this superhero performance, and Zach LaVine is Herculean, and they just we gotta get one for the city, and it happens. But I'm not optimistic. I think Holiday locks down DeRozan.
Yeah.
Levine is still pretty hobbled. The Bulls are not a good team. Caruso's been shooting 31% from three as of recently. Billy Donovan kind of ran his players to the ground to some degree. And Vucevic is not a good defender. And against Giannis, nobody's stopping him. So the Bulls are going to lose in 4 games, and it sucks. You had a great season, but saying bye.
Casual. just a lot of casual takes being spun in there. Happy to be here, though. Like I said, happy to just get the playoff vibe back.
What's casual? The sweep? Or
no? No. What was casual is you said it, we did this all for nothing. The team hasn't made the playoffs since 2017. What do you mean for nothing? Did Minnesota not win a play-in game for nothing, or they made it to actually, go?
Well, that's different because they're actually going to get out the first round and make it a
hold on.
competitive series.
Hold on.
For one.
Hold on.
Yep.
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
And I respect your opinion.
You want to know what else is the difference?
What?
They're going into the playoffs with one of the best 20-year-olds already in the NBA in Anthony Edwards, where you already have a peak DeRozan, who I don't know how much better he's going to get. Vucevic, who's gone in like a year or two, he's not the long-term guy. And Zach LaVine, who is your best guy, and how good can he be being your best guy? Nobody knows. So because of that, it's
Wait, but wasn't
Minnesota has a young core.
Wait, but wasn't you? Because this is hilarious. Watch this. Didn't you tell us the other maybe like 3-4 weeks ago? Cat is that guy. Cat can be a superstar. He's amazing.
And now
He
it's
is.
Ant Edwards.
Okay. Here we go. He has one playoff.
I've always said Edwards is the most talented
He
on the team.
stinked it up. Then he walks into a play-in game, very important game, one of the most important games of his career. 6 years later, walks into that play-in game and gets locked up by Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, just a bunch of wings. He just gets locked up by a bunch of wings, and still you're dissing Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan.
Well, me, for one, I've always said that Ant Edwards always had the highest potential on the Timberwolves. He's going to be the best player on that team. Right now, it's Cat, but it's going to be Edwards eventually. He's the reason. I made a video. It's on my YouTube channel where it said, the title of it, Anthony Edwards has changed around the Timberwolves. He brings a certain swagger, energy. A swagger that I don't think Zach LaVine brings. He doesn't bring the Ant Edwards swagger.
Zach is pretty mellow.
Why are we disrespecting
He doesn't bring
Levine?
the Ant Edwards swagger.
Why are we
Listen, his team is a
Levine?
13th seed. He has to talk about some, it's
the
Knicks,
Timberwolves
Bulls,
have swagger. It's just something special about them. The Bulls are very bland. It's like food with no seasoning. I don't see it. I don't think it's.
What did you see from Cat having like 8 points?
I saw Edwards have a fantastic. I saw D'Lo have a fantastic
in
game.
the play-in game. They didn't have to play a play game.
Wait, the play-in game that you thought they were going to lose because
they won. No, they won.
Wait,
they
Drew,
won.
I have a question for you.
They won.
This is Mr. Regular season doesn't matter, but based his entire Clippers over Wolves prediction off a regular season matchup, right?
What you mean?
You were just here saying regular season's out the window. Play-in is technically the playoffs.
No, it's not because the stats don't even count.
Is the play in the regular season? It's not.
It's not a playoff game.
It's the tournament.
No, it's a playoff game.
No, the stats don't even count, bro.
I know,
it's not
a
playoff game.
It's a playoff game.
It's a playoff
if you lose, you're a
atmosphere
lottery
game.
team.
Correct.
It's not a playoff game.
It's a playoff
It's
game.
a playoff atmosphere game.
That's fair to say. But it's not a playoff game.
So your entire analysis on the Wolves losing was based off the regular season.
I mean, it was still technically.
And you admitted now that you don't even take that into account when making your analysis for the playoffs. So
I mean,
or the play-in, I guess.
You're comparing a regular season matchup to a damn near regular season game.
It's not a regular season
as opposed to a team that was already locked in the playoffs. We didn't have to play extra games or go. We had a break for a week.
I'm just
we had
glad.
vacation.
Although the Knicks didn't make it, it's fine.
13.
I'm not hell bent over it.
Hey, you're gonna get a good pick.
I want to get a good pick.
Maybe.
I like
Nick's luck. You're
I
right.
like the strides RJ took. I mean, we
You gotta love that.
didn't we make our top young core list earlier in the season, and you had the Knicks making your top 5?
Yeah, you have guys have a beautiful.
So
young
I
core.
have optimism. You have first round exit.
You had a first round exit. you can't make jokes. You were just here last year.
Y'all literally reversed roles.
You were literally just here last year.
But your expectations were higher than ours.
You're lying. What was my expectations with the Bulls? What was my expectations with the Bulls?
We're not that high.
Don't
second
do that.
round. He said second round.
I mean,
It would have
been second round, and they played almost anyone else.
Celtics.
Almost anyone else.
Jamal, you're gonna lie up here?
Maybe.
No.
You're gonna lie up here.
You said second round. Bro.
It depended. Did I ever say? I said depending on the match. I was very consistent. I said if we play the Bucks, we
And
won't
if
win.
y'all were healthy, that was another thing.
So don't try to make it seem like you ran in here. Knicks, Hawks, we're winning. Julius Randle, RJ, not to mention he stunk it up. You ran in here talking all that
We don't
nonsense.
disrespect RJ anymore, bro. Come on.
Just happy to be here though.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
I respect that to some degree.
Yeah, lottery team though. You'll bounce the ball.
Top 5 young core.
Oh,
That's what you said.
I'm banking on Cam, baby.
And Quentin Grimes.
I love Quentin Grimes.
We got those
And
guys.
Deuce.
And IQ finished the season strong.
Obi Toppin.
And Obi finished the season strong. I have optimism.
I hope
I
you
have
do,
hope.
because you were just mad a month ago. Making mad Knicks
everything.
videos.
I mean, you're lucky because everything that could have went wrong for the Knicks went wrong.
I mean, your reaction there.
Why does that
I
make
tell you
him
all the
lucky
time.
though?
Wait, what does that make me lucky about?
Because you're lucky that
you were
you're
screaming
able.
at us.
You're lucky you're able to talk this much trash about the Knicks because everything went wrong.
You were screaming at us because you were 4-1 and you beat us one day early in the season. You came in here talking about after you beat the Celtics, you beat us. It was 2 weeks in the season.
You weren't
That
even
was
sure
your
yourself
fault.
that
Yeah,
you even came out and issued an apology to the Chicago Bulls. You weren't sure either.
You kept going crazy.
You had no
bro.
idea.
That's why I said it's the worst mistake I've made.
Yeah, gotta stop being reactionary, bro. Gotta stand 10 toes, man.
Don't worry, I will.
Next year, that shit.
I will.
That's it.
From here on out, it's 10
You're living
toes
the
down.
pick aside mantra.
10 toes
It's
down.
10 toes down.
That's what I like to
It's
hear.
super down for the cause.
Is the Timbs and the Memphis one up next?
Not yet.
Oh, it's
nah.
not. It's actually right now. We're going to get into this week in the NBA. But after we give a shout out to DraftKings, you can use promo code TBPN to get a great offer on DraftKings. It helps us out a lot when you use our promo code. The NBA playoffs means high level basketball, and you can get in on the first round action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly, and you win no matter what. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on NBA hoops with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Plus, each day of the first round, get a risk-free bet. Bet up to $10 if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TBPN. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code TBPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Love you, DK.
I'm supposing you checked the score to the game.
No, I actually was showing something that LeBron James, the years
25-36, Cleveland's up.
Okay, nice. Good start.
Really fast. It was just years that LeBron didn't win MVP early in his career. His numbers were absolutely insane.
Over Nash.
Over Nash, both seasons. Over Dirk. Dirk deservedly so won it. And Kobe deservedly so won it, but even still, LeBron's numbers were better than both of them.
This week in the NBA, you guys know how the segment goes. We'll still keep this segment in as long as stuff in the NBA happens that aren't segment worthy but are noteworthy. So give me your this week in the NBA, Riv.
I mean, for me, it was pretty easy. It actually happened last night, and I was in pain, crying, had my covers over my head. Paul George win the health and safety protocols. Paul George win the health and safety protocols, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, it was pretty painful.
Gut-wrenching.
We could still win. You know, the Clippers have been they've been fighting adversity all year. They have the clear coach, the best coach. So I think they can still win, but that definitely hurt.
Over Willie Green?
Oh, God. Didn't even acknowledge that. But
y'all have been playing without PG and Kawhi almost all season.
It just would have made it so much clearer if PG was playing.
The thing is, though, I will say against the Wolves, my expectation was that PG was going to really.
He had 11 in the fourth.
But he went down the stretch. He seemed to not want the ball. He shied away.
Yeah, bro. I figured Reggie folded.
You can't
He missed a wide open layup.
Even still, you want to credit Paul George, you got to give credit to Reggie where he was hitting almost all game.
Last game, he was getting locked by Pat.
But Pat was doing his thing, but even still, Reggie was still hitting tough buckets.
I mean, he missed a wide open layup.
At the end, I can't say you're wrong. That was messed up. That was
lost
a choke.
me at that
But
point.
even still, at least he was taking shots. Paul George didn't even have the ball in his hand.
I mean, he hit the three to bring him to three.
To the point where I was like, where is Paul George?
He hit the 3-pointer to bring them up close to three.
For sure.
And then he hit another, and he gave a dime to Batum in the corner.
How many attempts do you think that Paul George had in the last 4 minutes?
Not a lot.
Maybe like 2?
And he made both. He should have took more.
He should have. He should have been the only one touching the ball.
Clips, pals, though. I'm taking clips tonight, but
Good luck, bro.
We always down to fight, you know.
No, for sure.
Always
All right, my This Week in the NBA is actually about Draymond Green and his statements on his podcast with Steph Curry. He issued a statement saying that the 2016, although they were not the ultimate victors of the NBA Finals in 2016, he still claimed them as the best team in NBA history until that 2017 season with Kevin Durant joining a 73-win team. Now, it begs the question, are they the best team of all time, that 2017 Golden State Warriors team? It's definitely up for debate, but Nick Wright was here arguing that the Bulls weren't even in the conversation. And listen, I don't hate Nick Wright as much as other people may dislike him, but this was one of his stronger opinions, which I firmly disagree with. You have to look at that 96 Bulls team. The fact they were able to cap off the second greatest regular season, the second greatest regular season with a championship. How do you not look at that team and give them the title as the best team ever, especially when they had the best offense, the best defense?
Yeah, you're an idiot if you do something like that.
So
Bro said
it's
the 83 Sixers.
It's definitely a conversation to be had because talent-wise, I don't disagree too far off. You have Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, 2 top 5, top 3 players in the NBA at the time. Clay, Draymond Green, Iguodala, the Hampton Five. I mean, it's definitely a conversation to be had, but that 72 win season capping it off with a championship, you just couldn't write it any better.
I actually have a couple this week in the NBA.
This guy's a tryhard. Can't just say one. Like
the Raptors.
Like, tell me to write 3. I'll write 3. What do you got? 17?
He does
for?
that, so he makes. He tells us bring one. He pulls up with 3.
I didn't tell you to bring one. You can bring however many
this
you want.
Week in the NBA. So you know what? I'm gonna come in with 7 next time we do this.
Please don't.
Right? What's the point of that?
Please
But
don't.
let's hear him. I'm interested.
Okay. So one, the NBA is bringing back the old finals logo, the script. I think that's noteworthy. You guys were just gonna breeze by it like that's not big time news. I think it's dope.
You wasted the fans' time. They're like they saw this.
They're probably
They
like, wow,
saw
that's
this.
amazing. Maybe they didn't see it. And also, Zion report came out that there's a difference of opinion if he's healthy or not between him and the organization. And I saw somebody tweet Kevin. He tweeted on Twitter that it reminds him of the Kawhi and Spurs situation where Kawhi wasn't ready to, said he was injured. The Spurs disagreed, and maybe there's a little bit of that going on in New Orleans right now. I do think that Zion will ultimately play for the Pelicans and will be happy doing so. But he did post on his story a day from a song from the music group The Manhattan. Could be subliminal messaging to come to Knicks.
What a reach!
Yeah, and
Is that a reach?
I don't know the Manhattan.
the other one I have is LaMelo Ball wearing number 1. He says he's never wearing number 2 again in his life
That's why I said, bro.
because he wants to be
He
number
should
1.
wear 14.
I'm glad now. It's so weird with you. It's like you think that LaMelo's good, but you don't think that he's among the.
I don't think he's as good as you think, but I think he's good.
I don't like it. Pick one.
No.
Pick it. Pick a side.
I just like to be
please.
on the opposite side of you. How about that?
I believe that.
Yeah.
And I have 2 more.
Oh my god,
Dude, are you serious?
I want to give him his flowers right now. Trae Young, although he's an all-star, superstar caliber player, I still feel like he gets underrated. He just led the NBA in total points, in total assists. The only seasons with 28 plus points per game and 9 plus assists in league history belong to Oscar Robertson 9 times, Tiny Archibald 2 times. Trae now has 2, James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
9 times from Oscar?
Yeah.
God damn.
Trae Young right now is doing something we've never seen before at his young age, in his young career already. He's led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like he's already being underrated. To me, he is the best point guard in the NBA. I think he is. I think he's the best point guard in the NBA.
You're Shaq and a fool.
And most of that is because I
So he's
think
better than Luka?
Luka's a tweener.
No, he's not.
Luka's a tweener.
He's a guard.
No,
Luka's
he's
a
only
tweener.
that.
I know. That's why I said
He's
Luka
better-
first, because it's an obvious
He's better than
statement.
Steph.
And
He's better than Steph.
You're so reactionary. It's just so ridiculous.
He's
at
better
this
than
point.
Steph Curry. I would rather have Trae Young. I'll be honest. Right now,
you
I'd rather have Trae Young.
called his run a fluke, but then you just said he just made it to the ECF. Okay, that's
I
one.
called the Hawks run a fluke.
Yeah, which he was on it. And
he was
started
on it, but there was a lot of guys
Then-
on it too.
And
that
then
were
Zion's
fluky.
still going to be better than him.
Then you said,
Well,
then you,
Zion is a generational talent.
but I
But
know
so
it
is
for,
Trae
but you
Young.
don't
Okay,
think
but
is
Zion is-
better than Steph.
He's not. Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
That's what I thought.
Wait, what are you talking about?
This is another thing. You don't
What are you
think
talking about?
you had Zion over Trae Young just now, but you don't think he's better than
Wait,
Steph.
hold up. The top 25 under 25 list is projection based.
It is.
That's why I had
So
Zion.
you think Zion's peak is better than Steph's peak?
No, I think. Wait, Steph
let's-
is not a top. He wasn't. He wasn't even an option on the list.
Is Zion's peak better than
I
Steph's
never
peak?
said
I'm
Trey's
asking
peak
you,
was
No,
is
better.
that's not
Zion's
what he's
peak-
saying.
What
That's
are you
not what
talking
he's
about?
saying. That's
Oh,
not
I never
what he's
said
saying.
Trae
Don't take
Young's
it out.
peak is
Listen,
better than Steph's
You're
peak.
going to drag it, and
All
I
right,
understand
talking
that.
about?
I'm just
No,
making sure. I'm just
easy,
making
easy.
sure.
I got
I don't know what he's talking
No,
about.
no,
I'm
no.
just making sure.
But
All right.
he's
He was
getting-
trying to set me up.
He's
I
just
was
getting
trying to set you
emotional.
up.
He is.
I was trying to set you up.
You're getting emotional in the sense like it's Steph Curry. Like you're-
reactionary, man.
Oh, I agree. This
Steph is
strong.
not in his peak right now. Trae Young is better than him. Trae Young is better than Steph right
Walk
now.
off.
I listen if there's any time to. Listen,
on,
Trae
bro.
Young is all world. He is amazing.
Oh my.
And even in Steph Curry's worst statistical season since him
They
being
shoot
an
the same
all-star,
splits.
still the same splits.
It's the same splits. That's it. Then we call what Steph did inefficient for him.
Yep.
That is what Trey's doing right now.
Steph can't have the ball in his hands the entire game like Trae does. He can't.
can. He just does- that's
can't
not the
control the
system.
flow of offense like Trae does.
He controls. He's
He's a maestro.
He was doing it before.
First of all,
He was-
don't
yeah.
even say nothing. You're disrespectful. He controls the ball. He controls. He is
He's
the
the offense.
offense.
He's the
He
offense.
is the
Shout out to
offense.
Steve Kerr for unlocking Steph.
I mean, if he couldn't do this, he couldn't run that offense with anybody else because Steph is the only guy that
Steve
can
Kerr.
do that. So what you talking about? And Steph is a way better defender than that cone. He's a walking parked car.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
easily.
Trey made
what?
the Eastern Conference Finals with no high level all-star next to
Oh,
him.
you just called it a fluke.
Steph
Steph
Curry
has 3 rings.
Steph Curry, has he ever made the conference finals with not an all-star next to him? He hasn't.
He's made, you know, he's made the finals without a. Clay wasn't an all-star that first year he made the finals. You do know that, right?
He was an all-star level player.
But he wasn't an all-star. You just said, has he ever made it with an all-star? He did, first year.
Trae Young is better than Steph Curry right now.
Crazy. I think you're being reactionary.
No, I'm not. It's
really
facts.
You're reaching.
It's actually facts.
I will wait another year, but you're reaching just a little bit.
It's not. It's facts. And I also have one more. Because
Why?
New agenda.
it's not an agenda.
You're pushing.
You
this
know we
tree.
got 4
Actually,
other matchups to talk
You know
about.
Trae Young he's first in PER this season.
That's good.
You want to know who's 6?
Ooh.
At the
Steph.
point guard position, you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Yeah.
Steph. It's number 1 is Trae, then it's Luka, then it's Ja, DeJounte, Kyrie, Steph.
So at Steph's worst, he's 6 in PER.
Yeah, and guess who's won? Trae Young. He's the best point guard in the NBA.
PR that you constantly poop on when I bring it up.
I don't poop on it, but you have to take some things into
There's
account.
some
DeJounte Murray is 5. Do you
Not
really
only-
take that into context, or do you not care?
Well, that's the difference because DeJounte, even though his PR is high, his basic stats aren't better than Steph's.
I mean, I don't.
Trae Young, not only his basic stats are better than Steph, not only does he have the best stats in basketball for a point guard,
but
he
you
also analytically he's the best point guard in basketball.
No, I mean advanced stats. He's nowhere near Steph.
Why can't you just say that Trae Young had a better season than Steph Curry?
No,
without saying
because
that
it's
he's
not.
better?
No.
Well, because Trae Young is not even in his prime yet, while it's clear Steph is now on
But
his
it's
way
not even.
out to
It's
being
not
at
even
his
just
best that
about.
he
He's
was.
looking at every advanced statistic leans Steph.
Not PER.
Still.
Not
Well, yeah,
PER.
not PR, but every advanced leans Steph. He's
Which
just
ones?
using.
Tell me which ones.
Offensive win share, defensive win share, box plus minus, estimated
Defensive
box
win.
plus. So what do you want to do? You want to go into because Steph was
defensive
still.
win shares, the shares that Draymond accumulates to more than Steph.
I don't get what you're trying to say.
So every other defender on the Hawks accumulates any type of defensive.
Oh, their defense is bad, so you can't really.
I mean, it starts with the guy at the top, does it not?
not
If
really.
your leader sucks, what are you gonna do?
Not really, because if they had a guy in the back,
If your leader sucks, what are you gonna do?
Oh, come on.
Your leader's parked. He's a parked
Okay.
car. What are you gonna do? What's your other?
see, that's why I feel like we're underrating Trae Young. You think you think Steph's better than him?
Well, he's literally.
Don't acknowledge
I'm sorry. He
it.
knows.
Just stop. You gotta be smarter.
All right. Well, look,
So
all right.
underrated.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now my last this week in the NBA, I want to get your guys' takes on this because Russell Westbrook had a lot of things to say in his exit interview. I don't want to get too deep into what he said, but I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we have witnessed the downfall of Russell Westbrook this past season. And most teams in the NBA don't think he's a very useful player anymore. I don't know what team wants to trade for him. So let's do a little trivia. I'm going to ask you, would you rather this player or would you rather Russell Westbrook or this player?
At this current point of time.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not going to name high-level players, so I'm curious to hear your guys' answers. Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
My God.
I don't know why you're thinking.
I know. I just saw because he just doesn't fit most teams. Jalen Brunson, he fits a lot of teams.
Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly.
Oh my God, we're getting rude.
I like fit.
I know.
I like fit.
I know.
I really
know,
do love fit.
I know.
So if you fit,
He's
I don't care if you're more talented.
He'll fit on every single team. All right. Oh my God. All right. I'll go Pat Bev.
Monte Morris.
All right. All right. Now we're getting a little.
Pat Bev was the stretch for me. I'm going Russ basically every other name you throw at me from here on out.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo.
Monte Morris, by the way.
Ricky Rubio.
You're wilding.
Westbrook.
Westbrook or Rubio. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson,
Reggie.
and I'm not thinking
Reggie.
twice. Yeah, Reggie.
Now here's the kicker. This player, actually I'll say his name first.
Okay.
Tyus Jones. Without John Morant this season,
No,
he's
I know.
averaging 13 points and 7 assists, and he's shooting 45% from the field and 40% from three.
Tyus Jones. He doesn't
The
turn the
reason
ball
why
over.
Russ is so bad also because his defense
He's smarter than
sucks.
Westbrook. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes good decisions. Tyus Jones.
All
Jones.
right. All right, fine.
I wanted to do this exercise to prove just how much Westbrook has fallen off. And despite him, he's probably better than all these guys in a
Talent-wise.
one-on-one
Easily.
game.
Yeah.
And if he's the leader on the team, he's the best out of all these guys. But in terms of fit, all of these guys, for the most part,
Can fit on
I'd
30
rather
teams.
have over Westbrook.
All those guys can fit on 30 teams. Westbrook can't fit on 8 right now. Maybe not 6. And I'm being nice.
And I don't think, and I really do think Monte Morris was like an easy choice for me. I would have picked Monte Morris easily.
That one was just I heard it. I was like, whoa. Like, that's.
It's just rude.
He's a backup.
This was a rude. This was a very rude segment.
I just
Super
wanted to
rude.
prove a point. I think we're like, this is the point I'm proving.
Can we
right
just respect the Hall of Famer and not
Oh
bring
my
him
God.
down?
We can respect him, but I also acknowledging that he's butt right now.
This was like Dirk was, but we never.
Dirk was never
at
butt.
the end of his career,
No, he was just a guy.
he was old. That's what it was.
Yeah, but he was
But
still
he didn't
shooting
have the
efficiently.
expectation.
I
though.
know.
And Russ is just coming off of averaging a triple-double.
No, you're right. I mean,
And he did
averaged triple-double
backpack
every single
towards the end of
season.
last year.
You're
He did
not
backpack.
wrong at all.
So we thought he could still.
I'm shocked, man.
Bro,
I think it's fascinating because I've never, at least I haven't been watching basketball as long as other people. Like I'm not 40, but in my time watching basketball, I haven't seen a player that still clearly can play at a very high level, but you wouldn't take over most guys, even lower level backups in the league, just because of pure fit.
Yeah.
And that's how much fit matters.
What about Rondo after Sacramento?
Taking Westbrook.
No, I'm saying like.
So you're talking about Pelicans, Rondo.
Oh wait, you're saying like Lakers, like when?
No, I'm saying like Rondo was still able to play, but a lot of teams he couldn't fit on because he couldn't shoot.
But let's say look at the Lakers. We didn't have a team full of shooters, and he still fit on.
When
our
he was
team
old,
fine.
I'm talking about like when he was still putting up a double-double. That's what I said Sacramento, Chicago-ish Rondo. Like
But that's what I'm saying. The Lakers,
even IT after Boston, how many teams could he really fit on?
because he wasn't the one.
And he's like 5'8".
Yeah, I mean, but when he was the one on the Celtics, he was mad good.
Let's get into the Western Conference first round playoff preview. You got to start bringing in more this week in the NBAs. I feel like the audience loves that. There's a lot of this week's in the NBA.
Let's start bringing in 3 at least.
Yeah, thanks. Now that I know that I should bring 17, I will bring them.
Suns versus Clippers or the Pelicans.
I'm glad that this is the very first one we're going over
this is
because
for me,
this
it's the
should be
Clippers. Sorry.
legitimately a 30-second conversation.
You think
I'm
so?
sorry, wait, what?
No, this is the Clippers for me. Not the win. God damn, I don't hate them that much. But to win against the Pelicans.
My heart skipped a beat for a sec. Bro.
Don't make me do it because I really.
You're crazy.
I'd say
You're
it.
crazy. He's lost to Timberwolves.
You know who I should have mentioned in the Westbrook thing? Jose Alvarado.
I wouldn't answer that question. That's so crazy. He's not bad too. That's crazy.
No, he's not.
Really not
He's
bad.
not.
I would think about it.
This was so rude of you. That was rude.
For me though, Suns if they play Clippers,
I'm an antagonist.
You
are.
Yeah.
You're an instigator.
Yeah.
Suns if they play Clippers, 6 games with Suns win. 5 games maybe. They pay Pels 5 games. I like the Pelicans. They're really a fun team to watch. They're definitely exciting, but I think the Suns are just at a different level this year, and I think only like maybe 2-3 teams could beat them in the league. So no Kawhi. PG can probably give you 2 games if he does. If they do win tonight. So I got Suns beating the Clippers 6 games, probably 5, but it'll be good games. Pelicans 5 games. They've been dominant all year.
I'm gonna say this very respectfully, King. It's a sweep regardless of who they play.
Well, you're casual.
That's not casual talk. We're talking about the best team in the Western Conference facing the 8 seed that
They were the second best team last
they're
year.
not like that.
Okay.
Neither of these 8 seeds are like that to give them a game or two.
Okay.
We're talking about Monty Williams, Coach of the Year. We're talking about Devin Booker, CP3, DeAndre Ayton.
You don't think
Bridges.
the Clippers can win a game?
No.
They've got better since last year?
The only reason why they could win a game, because one, you got Paul George, Ty Lue. You give them that respect, maybe, but I'm telling you, I believe it's a 4-game series regardless.
Okay. Respect.
That's how I look at it.
The Suns are one of the most fun teams I've watched in a long time.
Nice.
I don't think he dislikes the Suns.
No.
I don't dislike the Suns, and I don't know why you.
Yeah, I was just
you're
shocked.
giving me that impression.
you gave the impression that he said he
just because
disliked.
listen, we know where we stood at this table when the season first started. I was on the Suns side. You guys were on the Warriors side. So
I was always on the Suns side.
Lies.
He said the Warriors.
I know, like between the Suns and Warriors, yeah, the Warriors I think are better. But in terms of the Suns, I never thought they were. In fact, I was arguing with you guys all offseason long. Their run wasn't a fluke.
What are you talking about? I never said it was a fluke.
Definitely was me.
It was both of you guys.
No, it was.
I'm pretty
You
sure
didn't say it was a fluke, but you downplayed the adversity they went through when we had segments about the adversity.
No, I did not.
The easy run.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
You got to stop throwing false narratives on my name.
I remember arguing about it.
Your memory's failing you, King.
No,
You throw false narratives on my name. I don't appreciate it.
We'll get somebody to clip it. You know what? No
Surge.
context pick aside.
You can find Surge.
our Sons segments from the
so
offseason.
no
and
context
post
pick
it.
aside is 100%.
Or just call Surge. I promise you he'll find it in 5
I don't think
minutes.
it's Surge.
No, I think
No,
it
I'm
is.
saying, but if you get
no
Surge
one
to
else
do it,
is looking towards our episodes.
you can find it. Surge will find it in 5 minutes, bro. I'm telling you, 5 minutes he'll find it.
He's the GOAT, bro.
Yeah, he found a clip for me that was from episode 31. 31 in like 15 minutes, bro. I was like, nah, this guy's sick.
Episode
what? Oh no,
That's real.
That's why he was sad that he lost his old Instagram.
One time I sent the video, he was like, "That's from episode this." I'm like, "What? How did you know that? Like off the top of your head, bro? You're
That's
crazy."
from episode 59.
I was like, "Bro, he's crazy, bro."
Oh no,
I know the
episode.
timestamp.
That was episode 72.
He be just on point, like fast. I'm like, "Damn, Serge, you know every
I
episode."
remember that. That was episode 121.
Minute 37, second 19.
Sometimes he know episodes better than me. I be like, "Damn, bro."
How about the trivia? Let's do this trivia for people out there. What was the first episode that Drew appeared on the podcast?
That's a good question.
Winner
That's
gets
a
a
good
free
trivia.
hoodie.
Oh, okay.
That's valid.
All right.
That's gonna be a tough question.
That's an easy question.
I think it's an easy question if they just look at the full episodes and look at the,
I thought
the
we
thumbnails.
was gonna add some stuff. I didn't think we
First person. It's got to be the first person.
First person.
Mm-hmm.
Deal.
Yeah.
Not everyone, obviously. You can't. Whoever the first comment, I'll keep an eye out
But
for
to talk about the Suns, I love the Phoenix Suns, and it isn't a bit unfortunate that I do think Golden State is better because I want Chris Paul to win a championship. Chris Paul is one of my favorite players ever. I grew up on Chris Paul. I love Chris Paul. When the Rockets got Chris Paul, I told people he wasn't washed. People used to argue with me that Spencer Dinwiddie was better. Like, Chris Paul to me
my God.
holds a special place in my heart because he's one of the smartest players I've ever seen play. So I want him to win a championship. This Suns team has everything that they had last year, plus depth. They have more guard depth. They have more center depth.
Definitely.
So if they do match up with the Bucks again with Giannis, they will be better prepared for that series. You're right, though. This is a sweep any way it goes. I think the Pelicans will win because it's Ingram, CJ McCollum, Jonas. Clippers, you had a good time. And listen, you thought you were gonna beat the Wolves, but you didn't.
I can't laugh. I thought you guys were going to beat them too.
But you didn't. And I hope you guys have been looking at the
You
comments.
guys are going to lose to the Pelicans.
Because there's a comment every other hour on that play-in preview, and they're all like, wow, these guys doubting the Wolves, casuals. And you're right. You deserve to be called casuals. Because I told you about Minnesota all damn year long. And we're going to talk about them after we finish talking about the Suns for a little bit. But you're right. This is a sweep either way. I trust the Pelicans to come out versus the Clippers. I think it'll be entertaining, and I think the Pelicans need that experience. You kind of scoffed at what I said when I said Willie Green was better than Tyronn Lue. I'm not ready to go there yet. I think
that was crazy.
Ty Lue's a better coach, but Willie Green is an exceptional coach. The way, and I forgot his name, but I want to shout out the shooting coach for the Pelicans. Developing Lonzo Ball shot. Herb Jones, developing his shot. He wasn't a shooter coming out of college. Like, this guy has done wonders, really. The Pelicans have a
Christian
really...
Clark.
The Pelicans have such...
I'm lying. I'm sorry, bro.
The Pelicans
Fred
have...
Vinson.
The Pelicans have such a bright future. They have versatile wings who can defend. They have guard depth. They have a good center in Jonas. Zion is the missing piece to take them over the top. So I hope he does play for them because this team is very talented.
Missing piece to take him over the top in terms of what?
Being a top dog in the West.
Ooh.
They could be the Wolves, what the Wolves are.
No,
Wolves
they can be
Wolves
what
top dog.
they can be what Memphis is.
Ooh. Wow.
They can make that big of a jump if Zion is healthy the entire year next year.
McCollum,
I gotta wait and see.
McCollum, Ingram, Herb Jones, Zion.
Just gotta wait and see.
And
Jonas.
Just gotta wait and
That
see.
lineup's nuts.
I feel like that's
And Devontae Graham off the bench.
that's I don't want to make that big
Jose
of a
Alvarado.
Jose
off the
Alvarado.
bench.
Yeah, those are
Facts.
I don't want to make that big of a
And Trey
reach.
Murphy, who's
Yep.
been good.
I'm
Jackson Hayes has been playing better.
I'm gonna wait on that. I don't want to make that big of a reach.
So we don't have to be on the Suns for too long. Let's go to the next series, which I think is going to be a blast. Mavericks versus Jazz. The winner of this series would face the Suns, so that's why we're going to talk about them. So Mavericks versus the Jazz. The Mavs 52-30, 4th seed. Jazz 49-33, the 5th seed. They split the season series 2-2. Rudy Gobert didn't play for 2 of those games, but the 2 that he did play, they still split. So it was still an even split, and that was with Dinwiddie as well. Now, we know that Luka Doncic is nursing a calf injury. He's out for Game 1. Game 2 is questionable. There was a report that came out that the Mavericks are being cautious with this.
As they should.
In my opinion, this might sound crazy. I don't think Luka plays in this series. I don't. I think him being with that calf, having that calf injury, they're setting back the timetable each time. It reminds me of KD when he was trying to make his debut in the finals. Mm-hmm. He didn't make it until they were down, and the Warriors needed to win. I feel like the Mavericks are looking at this. They're telling Luka, "Listen, it's a first-round series. You go down 0-2, you come back and play. Just the optics of it, even if they lose, people aren't going to talk about Luka coming back and playing injured. They're going to talk about him not being able to get out the first round. That's the narrative. If I'm Luka, and I know it kind of sounds wimpy to say, I'd kind of avoid coming back. Because if I'm down 0-2, I don't really like my chances of coming back if I'm still hurt. And having a calf injury, very well, history has shown us, goes hand in hand with rupturing your Achilles. And if that happens, you now lose Luka for the entire next season, and it's not worth it. In my opinion, it's just not. I feel like we're not going to see Luka in this series. And if we do, and he's healthy, and he's going, even if they go down 0-2, I think they can very well win all 4 and just beat them 4-2 because the Jazz have choked. Without Luka, Brunson averages 19 versus the Jazz. Dinwiddie averages 18. They have knockdown shooters, Finney-Smith, Kleba, Bullock, Bertans. But I'm under the impression Doncic is going to miss significant time in this series. I have the Jazz in 5. I think they still have a top 10 offense and defense. And without Luka playing, they don't have to worry about double teaming anybody. So these shooters aren't going to get the looks they're getting. And Gobert, although Luka got the better of him in these matchups and these switches, it wasn't easy buckets. Like Rudy Gobert held his own, and he fared much better than people expected him to when he was asked to guard the perimeter. If Luka was healthy, I'd say this is an awful matchup for the Jazz. The Mavericks win in 6, but he's not, and I really don't know what is going to happen. Just a report that they're being cautious with it tells me he might not play the series, and I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. I wouldn't play him this series.
I wouldn't go all the way and say I wouldn't play him entirely. I think if you get a split game 1 and 2, and he's ready to go game 3, you definitely get him in there. For me though, I'm sticking to my guns. Utah fans, I'm sticking with you. Utah in 5 or 6. I still think now that Luka, say for example, he does make significant time. They don't have anybody to match Donovan Mitchell. I think Jalen Brunson is good. Dinwiddie is good, but Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs is just, specifically in the first round, is on a different level. And although Dallas has defenders, they have Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock has been solid. I still think Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, he just knows how to turn it up another level. You hit it right in the head. Gobert, when they do switch, Gobert doesn't look lost out there like Zubac looked last year and stuff like that. He doesn't. He makes it a tough shot. Luka's just an all-time great. He's going to make that shot. But Utah's still top 10 offense and defense. They still have one of the best shooting teams in the league. They still have a solid bench, and they still have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. So for me, I got Utah in 6. I had Utah in 6 whether Luka played or not.
That's wild.
So for me, I like Utah as a team. I still think they can turn it around, and I think they're coming out and they're going to play the Suns in the next round.
Now, this was probably the most difficult for me to preview because the uncertainty of Luka Doncic's injury. If Luka's playing, I'm under the same impression as Joel. I have the Mavs winning this series. But with a calf strain injury, and with a guy like Luka Doncic, when a calf strain injury can take up to 6 weeks to fully recover from, it's not the brightest idea to have a potential top 3 player in the NBA one day miss basically the entire next season. God forbid we do see an Achilles injury or you worsen the calf injury. I think with that being said, Luka Doncic probably does not play either. And without Luka Doncic, unfortunately, the Mavs don't have a strong chance at competing with the Utah Jazz. Like you mentioned, the Mavs guards have had success without Luka. But without Luka, the motor of this team, there's no real chance that the Mavs have. Unfortunate to the fact that this defense has really committed this season where their identity is Luka Doncic oriented offensively, but defensively, they're all in, including Luka. His ability to now be that low perimeter defender for them, to take on a switch because of his size, that versatility that his size allows, really allowed this defense to take another level. Because you look at the other guards in the league that really aren't great level defenders, Trae Young, John Morant to an extent, they're able to, Steph Curry, another one, they're able to hide a little bit on defense. But even still on switches, how smart these coaches are, they're still able to get these guys on one-on-one situations. But with Luka, his situation is different because he's a bigger guy, 6'7", 230. But without Luka, unfortunately, I don't see this series being much of an entertainment. I have Jazz in 6.
Damn. So how many games do you think Luka's playing?
I don't think he's going to play any.
So you think Jazz in 6 with Dinwiddie and Brunson leading the way?
Given for the fact that their defense still has been really strong.
Tough defense. Shout out to Jason Kidd.
No doubt. And Jalen Brunson has been really solid when Luka has been out. They don't have a real offensive, dominant offensive powerhouse without Luka. That's evident. That's common knowledge. I think he accounts
for 60% of the offense.
But I still think that they're able to get 2 games because of that defense. And Utah's, I get sketch vibes from them.
We'll see Phoenix in the
2
next
games
round.
is crazy, low key. With no Luka.
You're giving them 5, right? If you're saying
that's
because
I'm giving them 5 because it's that's a gentleman's sleep. That's like Dinwiddie and Brunson both
6,
go off
but I
for
think
20.
Luka's coming back.
I don't think he's coming back. He should not come back. He could because, he's Luka, he's young, he feels like his body's going to be able to hold up. You can fight through that pain. Maybe it's possible. He should not come back. That's the future of the NBA. You don't want to be responsible for him injuring his future.
I'm very excited to talk about this next series. Grizzlies versus Timberwolves. Now, I know people watching the show have been angsty and waiting for me to talk about this series on this podcast, and trust me, I'm just as excited. The Grizzlies 56 and 26 second seed versus the Timberwolves 46 and 36 7th seed. The season series was 2-2. And this is kind of like the Nets and Celtics series where it's a 2-7 matchup, but these teams are closer than you think.
Oh my God.
It's closer than you think.
This is not a WCF matchup, Joel.
I never said it was.
Well, you said it's like the Nets and the Celtics.
Well,
just want to let you
before you
go
I didn't
on that
say it was
little,
East Coast
before,
Finals matchup. I just said
push that
the
agenda.
teams are closer than you think.
Just before you push that agenda, just want to let
the
you
teams
know.
are closer than you think.
Not a WCF matchup.
The Grizzlies are great at getting to the paint. They finished first in the NBA and averaged 4 more points than any other team in the NBA at 57.6 points per game. In the fast break, they're great. Averaged 17.7 points per game. First in the NBA in that and in offensive rebounding. And they average 18 second chance points, which is leading the league by far. Steven Adams has the best offensive rebounding percentage in the NBA. But they're bad at mid-range shooting. They're 26th in field goal percentage. 3-point shooting, they're 17th in three-point shooting. And they're 28th in percentages of the shots that come from three. So this is a team that is very reliant on getting to the paint and getting paint touches. So what that tells me is that if the Timberwolves can limit transition points, if they can limit paint drives and do a great job at trapping or helping to maybe force these kickouts, they can be in pretty good shape. Now, the Timberwolves ranked 28th in transition, which means they weren't great at transition defense, and at defensive rebounding too. They were 28th in that as well. We just saw Karl Anthony Towns have a bad play-in game. I'm not expecting him to shoot well in this series versus Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams. What I am expecting, he has to be the best goddamn rebounder in this series. I don't care if he shoots 36% from the field. Keep Adams off the boards. Secure defensive rebounds so the Grizzlies don't have multiple opportunities. If he hustles, if he plays hard defensively, if he rebounds great, I'm fine with his splits not looking the best because I think that's what they need to do versus a team like Memphis. They need to play tough. John Morant versus the Wolves this year, averaging 26 and 5, 33% from the field and 15% from three. I mean, Patrick Beverley, really good pesty defender. Jared Vanderbilt, Vando, that's my guy. Good defender as well. Now, the Timberwolves, there's something special about this team. It's brewing. It's in the works. It's like coffee beans that you put in a coffee maker. It's making something hot.
It's like 3 years later.
Something energizing.
Finally.
The caffeine is bubbling. The Timberwolves are roaring. They're ready for action. The first best goddamn offense in the NBA. First in pace, first in offense. D'Lo averaged 30 points per game in the season series. He said, John Moran, you can't guard me. He was doing whatever he wanted in the pick and roll. It didn't matter. He's that good. 2 of Memphis's wins in this season series, one of them the Wolves had control. They just folded in the fourth quarter, and they struggle with closing out games. Third matchup, the Grizzlies had a great third quarter. A lot of that was in transition. But like I said, if they can limit the transition buckets, if they can still play fast, but also make Memphis play slow in the half court, they have a great shot at upsetting the Memphis Grizzlies. I trust Minnesota more at generating offense. Defensively, they have enough with their guys. Memphis has a depth. But the T-Wolves, baby, they got the stars. They got the swagger. They got Cat. They got Edwards. They got D'Lo. That star power, I think all 3 of them will have big-time series. And the Timberwolves are winning this series in 7 games. Evenly matched teams. Their strength and weaknesses kind of cancel out each other. And the Wolves, I'm telling you, there's something special about this team. Now's your chance right now while you guys make your analysis and your picks to right your wrongs all season, laughing at Minnesota, picking the Clippers to beat Minnesota. You now understand what happens when you pick against the T-Wolves, baby.
They didn't get 5th seed, right?
Make the right choice this time. I'm warning both of you. Make the right choice. Don't disrespect Minnesota because they are coming out victorious in this series.
Jesus Christ. Are you done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is going to be an incredible series. It's going to be very entertaining. You know,
Definitely.
Got a lot of stars. You know, D'Lo, even though he wet the bed last time he was in the playoffs, star. And Edwards, this is his first go around. Excited to see him. Cat, let's try again. You know, let's see how you do. Steven Adams is a good defender, though. Jaren Jackson is solid, so let's see how you do. But nonetheless, it's going to be, I joke around, but this is going to be a really entertaining scene. This could potentially be the best series in the first round or the second best. A lot of excitement, a lot of high flyers, a lot of flashy players. So this is going to be incredible. I got Memphis in 6, though. You know, I like Ja Morant being the best player in the series. I like the depth Memphis has. I like the fact that you said they don't like to slow it down, but I've seen them in play-in situations in the playoffs slow it down and definitely make timely key buckets. I've seen Ja Morant and Steven Adams in that pick and roll work that magic. So for me, the X factor for Minnesota is D'Lo. His inconsistency, if he comes up and he's that D'Lo, ice in the veins D'Lo, it's definitely going to give Memphis some trouble. But I like Memphis defense. I like the depth. I like the fact that even though Ja Morant can have a bad game, there's other guys that's like Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, Kyle Anderson that can step up for you and give you big-time possessions and big-time minutes. So for me, Memphis being the deeper team, having that one glaring guy that's superstar level, I'm going to take Memphis in 6, but I think it'll be an entertaining series. And you let Cat off the hook a lot. I don't care about his splits. He needs to play good. I think
as long as he plays hard, I'm fine.
We ain't hearing that. He's a superstar.
Another thing you're saying is, which makes sense, yes, because you look at the Grizzlies, they're the best rebounding team in the league. They led the league in rebounds per game. And another interesting stat is Minnesota led the league in points per game offensively. But right there, right behind them at 115.6 points per game, where Minnesota had 115.9, was the Memphis Grizzlies. And you look at their defense, the Grizzlies' defense is better than the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm looking at the Grizzlies, and very similarly to the way that I previewed the Celtics and Nets games, where the Celtics play team-oriented basketball, the Grizzlies are playing some of the best team-oriented basketball in the Western Conference. With Ja Morant missing games, they don't miss a beat, where Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, these guys step up. Now you add Dylan Brooks back into the lineup. Your best perimeter defender now returns to the team. That's only adding to their defensive presence. I think this is going to be a great series. Minnesota, no disrespect to them. They have great star talent. But star talent doesn't always necessarily translate to winning basketball. I think I'm looking at the Grizzlies, and I think that they're a better all-around team. I'm going with the Grizzlies in 6.
You said Grizzlies in what?
6.
Casuals.
I think it'd be a tough. I think it'd be a really fun series.
But the thing that really disappoints me is that we've gotten to the point where the Grizzlies are becoming underrated.
How so? They're
because the Grizzlies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking you said the Timbs.
No, I understand. No,
I don't think the Grizzlies. People have the Grizzlies after the Suns. The Grizzlies coming out the West.
People are sleeping on the Grizzlies, and them not getting out the first round is just speaking precedent to that fact that people are underrating the Grizzlies.
No, it's because people that are picking Timberwolves to win are the people that watched every single matchup and saw the Timberwolves match up well against them and play them well and made Ja Morant struggle.
100%. Ja Morant in his games versus the Timberwolves only averaged 20 points.
And they can
So I'm with you. But they're more than...
It's just something about playoff Ja that makes me think differently.
No doubt. And they're more than...
You haven't seen playoff Edwards yet, trust me.
Doesn't exist.
Oh, and trust me, it's going to happen.
Ja Morant averaged 30 points against the best defense in the league.
Edwards going to average 35.
It's more than just Ja Morant, this team. That's why I'm looking at the Grizzlies and their depth and the team basketball that they play. I'm going with the Grizzlies.
The Timbs are more than just their top guy, too.
The reason why they were able to get past the Clippers was because D'Lo and Anthony went into that zone.
Yeah, their top guy was Cat, though. Supposed to be.
They got locked.
Yeah. and then the two other stars stepped up.
And
Stars.
And the big thing
So
that
that's
you're
what
saying
can happen with
the big thing
Timberwolves.
that you're saying for Karl Anthony Towns that he needs to do, the Grizzlies are the best at in terms of rebounding the basketball. So I do have my concerns with that aspect of things. If Cat's going to struggle, which is a possibility,
Cat needs to be that guy.
he needs to
Not
be.
that guy.
No,
but
no,
he
no,
needs
no,
to
no.
be a guy.
I don't think Cat needs to be the leading scorer in the series.
Not
for
leading
them to
scorer,
win.
but he needs to play well, bro. On the offensive end, he needs to play well for them to have.
I think it's
sure.
more important for him to play well defensively than offensively in this series.
He's an offensive machine, bro.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but D'Lo averaged 30 against this team. He has ice in his veins. I'm telling you, Edwards, he's gonna have a big time series. He's gonna have a big time series. He's the Ant-Man. That's who he is. That's who he is.
I'm not saying, listen, I like Anthony Edwards.
Me too.
And the way you guys are just shrugging your shoulders, dismissing
like
It's not
Memphis.
disrespect.
We like
exactly.
Memphis. I love the experience. I love the top guy. I love his depth. I like the defense. I like the rebounding. I like the way they all play for each other, play together. I love it. And I love the coach.
You talked about underrated teams. Well, the most underrated team in the West is the Warriors, quite frankly. It's not the
They don't
Grizzlies.
have us coming out the West.
People have kind of cast the Warriors aside because after their hot start, they kind of went on a cold streak when Draymond went out
For sure.
and Steph was injured and then Clay's finding his way back.
Yeah.
They're all here now, though. And they're facing the Nuggets. Because Jokic is so great, I contemplated him winning 2 games in this series, but I have Warriors in 5.
Keys told me Nuggets in 7. I screenshot it.
This is to me, this series is Warriors in 5. Like, the Warriors are just a better team all around. I don't think there's no debate about it.
You done?
Pretty much. I have to clean out my nose, so that's why I'm passing it over.
Oh, okay, cool. 'Cause I'm gonna, you know me. You're right. They are underrating the best team in the West, and it's very weird because before injuries started to derail this team, they were the most dominant team in the league. And it's weird. I remember the stretch. Beating Phoenix, Christmas, then going out there and giving Memphis hell. It was just a bunch of then Draymond goes down. Injuries, the only thing that's been stopping the Warriors have been injuries. Steph hasn't played with Clay yet. Clay hasn't played with Dre. The big four has not played together.
They played one game, right?
No, it was
Draymond.
11 minutes. They played 11 minutes together. The big four hasn't played, but now you add in the big four is healthy. You add in the proper guys that surround them. Iggy's healthy. Otto Porter,
Is the big
Jordan
four
Poole.
Andrew Wiggins?
Yes, he's the fourth guy. You add in the additions, he's definitely, undoubtedly the fourth
No,
guy.
facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So you add in the additions.
Poole, though, I'm shocked.
No, not yet. All star, I got to respect Wiggins. He been
You
doing
got Jordan Poole.
I mean, you want to say the
19th
fifth guy? I
under
could say
25.
I could say 5. I could do that if you really want me to do it. But I didn't want to do it, so I wasn't going to do it.
All right.
But yeah, Denver. Credit to Joker, incredible season, historic season. He just team's banged up. I don't think Austin Rivers and Campazzo is going to stop Steph Curry on 50%. Doesn't really matter to me. Clay, Poole, they're going to have their fun. Out of respect for the Joker, I can see this going 6 games because he's just so dominant. He can just change the flow of a game. He's kind of like a 7-foot Luka, where he's just so dominant on the offensive end. So I can see this going 6 or 5 games off the strength of the Joker. But the Warriors are healthy. I think right now it's about getting that chemistry.
Let's go, bro.
With the big
Cakewalk.
four.
Stand 10
No
toes.
dog walk, and Memphis is up
It's the
next.
same thing.
All right, I like to get a little more disrespectful though. It's dog walk. Memphis we're coming. But now that the Warriors are fully healthy, they should be viewed at the top with the Suns, with the Grizzlies, because they are just as good
They're
as
not
those teams.
necessarily healthy yet. You still got Steph Curry's got to get his basketball shape, get the conditioning.
Well, they're healthy as in they're about to play together,
Definitely,
so they should be
definitely.
viewed at the top of those two teams. But I got Warriors in 5 or 6 games. I still respect the Joker. He's
Warriors
incredible.
in
5.
5. Okay. So I'm under the similar belief as you guys. Yes, the Warriors have gotten to the point where injuries have derailed people's perception of who they actually are. And now you have Steph Curry returning. The reason why I have this series going 6 games is because we're unsure of how Steph Curry is going to come back, if he's going to be immediately in basketball shape. I think it's going to take a couple games, no more than that, for him to really get in the flow of things, really start to see Steph Curry be Steph Curry. I wouldn't be shocked if Steph Curry was Steph Curry game 1. But it's the first time he's returning after a cute stint off of off of playing in the NBA. But once this team's all healthy, you're 100% right. They're right up there with the top guys in the Western Conference. I'm going to shock you guys. I have the Warriors winning, believe it or not. But no, I have the Warriors winning in 6 solely because Jokic and the amazing things that he can do on the basketball court. Night in, night out, this guy contends with every single team, regardless of who it is, just because of how great that he is, regardless of the supporting cast. So I give him that respect of 2 games because he's that great. But we saw it last year where he can get blanked and they don't win and they take him out of a game, but this is a different team that don't have guys that can defend against Jokic, which is why I believe they'll get 2 games. So Warriors in 6.
I wish I can give them 2 games. The Warriors just have way too much depth. And
they do, man.
Jokic on the season has a 16.3 point differential, which is by far the best in the NBA. The Nuggets are so bad without him. The team that the Nuggets drop off against the most when Jokic is off the court is the Warriors. Jokic has a 22.3 point differential versus the Warriors. So without Jokic, even if he's out 2 minutes, well, we've seen the Warriors in 2-3 minutes go on 10-0 runs. It's over. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, Draymond, Kayvon Looney, who's not a bad defender, Jordan Poole, Otto Porter, Kuminga, the list goes on.
GP, don't forget
You got to
GP.
see Draymond get back to Draymond.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You know Kevon Looney's actually one of the best Joker stoppers in the NBA.
Really?
Yes.
That's nuts.
Joker drops off 12% from his average when Looney is guarding, which is one of the best in the league. Did not know that. It was actually shocking because it looks like he gets cooked all the time. So
that is shocking.
It is. And that was with no Draymond all year.
Okay.
No, maybe.
No, well, listen, again, we saw it last
season. They're going to lose regardless. This isn't
like,
Dame in Portland. They're going to lose regardless.
I think two of the
Nuggets in 7's crazy.
Three of the games in this series will be competitive. 2 of them will be blowouts Warriors.
I agree.
3 of them will be competitive. 2 will be blowouts.
That first one might be competitive. The first game 1, because Steph.
And they're going to target Jokic on defense. That's just as simple as that. They're going to put him in pick and roll situations. They're going to make him move a lot. So offensively.
And your theory of whether he's a great defender or not is going to come into fruition. We're really going to see it.
Well, when he does so much on offense, he kind of can't do that much. They would do the same thing to Giannis.
Oh.
They would cook Giannis.
Ooh.
Listen, we went down this road where you doubted Giannis. Don't do it again.
I might. I'm thinking about it. Don't doubt the Warriors.
Listen, I got them winning this series.
You learned your lesson early in the season.
Had them as my 4th seed. They ended up being the what?
Third.
Did the Mavs pass them or they got back?
No, the Mavs did not
okay,
the
all
third
right,
seed.
all right.
With injuries, by the way.
Yep. No doubt.
Yep.
But you didn't have them as contender.
They dominated your top dogs.
I had them as contenders.
They dominated your top dogs.
They did.
Yeah.
For sure. But
who was your first seed?
Yeah, LA.
The Clippers
65
or
wins.
the,
No, the 65 wins. That was his first team, bro.
the Clippers?
The
That's
Lakers. I think the Suns were your second, right?
Come on, it's preseason things for a reason. Now that we
Casual.
adjust, we have the Suns and we have Milwaukee, and
That
that's
was an
looking at
immense
the forefront.
casual take. That
What?
one,
That's the
65 wins. That
Come
was
on.
you were being a casual. You were being 1,000%
And if
casual.
you think that I give a rat's ass,
I'm sure you
that's
don't.
on you.
That's why you're a real one.
Thank you.
Oh, I ain't gonna do that to you on cams.
Come on, man.
Millions of people watching.
Let's recap our Eastern Conference and Western Conference first round winners. So these are Eastern Conference playoff series winners for the first round. Heat versus the Cavs or Hawks. I got the Heat in 4 versus the Cavs to face the Hawks. The Heat in 6. Then the Sixers versus Raptors. I have the Raptors in 6 games. I think this series is heavily reliant on James Harden, and I don't trust James Harden right now. I just don't at all. Celtics versus Nets. I have the Nets in 6. I could see it going 7. I'll actually go 7. I have the Nets in 7. People forget that with Kevin Durant, the Nets are 36-19, which would be first in the Eastern Conference. Currently, they'd have the best winning percentage in the East. I have the Nets in 7. And Bucks versus Bulls, I think Bucks in 4.
And for me, I'm going to start off. I have the Heat in 5 against the Cavs, who I think are about to win right now. And if the Hawks do come back, I got the Heat in 6 against the Hawks. And the next matchup Philly and Toronto, I think Harden's going to, basically come up and be better than what he used to be. So for me, I got Philly in 6. I think Philly will pull out that one. Then Boston and the Nets. I got the Nets in 6. I think KD and Kyrie are going to do their thing. And then, of course, the Bucks and the Bulls. I have the Bucks in a sweep 4 games.
Damn. I hate to hear that. So for me, in the Eastern Conference, I do have the Heat beating regardless of who they play, whether it be the Hawks or the Cavaliers, in 5 games. Next coming up, I have the Celtics versus the Nets. I have the Celtics beating them in 6 games. No, excuse me. I have the Celtics beating the Nets in 7 games. However, I do believe that there's a possibility the Celtics could win in 5. Next, I have the Bucks sweeping the Bulls, unfortunately, Riv. I'm sorry for you, King. And Sixers versus Raptors. I do have the Raptors winning in 6. I do have my concerns with James Harden's play of recently. I think Embiid's going to dominate regardless, but there's a world where we see Embiid average 30 and they still lose.
For our Western Conference playoff round 1 predictions, the Suns versus Pelicans or Clippers, Suns in 4, Dallas versus Utah. I think Dallas should be cautious with Luka's injury. I wouldn't play him this series. I think Jazz win in 5. Golden State versus Denver. You got to give Jokic 1 or 2 games, but the Warriors just a better team top to bottom. Warriors in 5. And then Memphis versus Minnesota. Minnesota will shock the world and win this series in 7 games.
For me, I got the Suns if they play the Pels, Suns in 4. If they play the Clippers, I got the Suns in 6. Of course, I got to show that love to my boys if Paul George does play. And then, of course, going up the Warriors and the Nuggets, I have the Warriors in 5. Out of respect for the Joker, I'm definitely going to give him that 1 game. Utah and Dallas, I have Utah in 6, whether Luka plays or not. I believe in Utah. I still think they could turn it around. And then Memphis and Timbs, I have the Memphis in 6. Ja's going to come out and get that win.
Okay, so for me, I have the Suns sweeping regardless, whether it be the Clippers or the Pelicans. Mavs versus the Utah Jazz. Without Luka Doncic, I don't believe that Luka should suit up a single game this series. And with that being said, given Dallas's defensive presence, I give them the courtesy of still winning 2 games. But unfortunately for the Mavericks, the Jazz are going to win that series in 6. Next, moving on, I have the Grizzlies beating the Timberwolves in 6 games. I look at the Grizzlies, and they're just a better, more team-oriented team, and without a doubt, they're coming away with that one. No disrespect to the Timberwolves. They've had a fantastic season. Now, lastly, the Warriors are getting past the Nuggets in 6 games with Steph Curry's return. This should be a pretty easy series for the Warriors. However, you got to give Jokic that courtesy, given the fact that he is the MVP this season, more likely than not the MVP this season. He keeps them in every single game that they play, game in, game out. And I'll give him the courtesy of 2 games, but Warriors in 6.
So that's going to do it for episode 172 of the Pick a Side podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. You can shop our merch at pickasidepodcast.com. And we do have a special guest coming on the show sooner rather than later. We're supposed to come on this show, but business, time things.
Exactly.
Yeah, schedules.
Exactly.
But we're going to have that guest on the show soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening and or watching, and we'll see you next time.